All right, so we are back. The Thousand Thrones continues, and I would like for you to start with spending your experience points, guys.
Good question.
I'm gonna hold on to mine right now. I'm still getting situated at the computer, so just for time's sake, I'll hold on for this week.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I need to open my file.
Spend them if you have them, or spend them if you want to spend them. But is there something, Brian, that you actually like? You need to learn specifically?
Yeah, but I'm not sure where my book is right now. Like,
Oh,
I'm still
okay.
getting situated.
I am running out of options. So yeah, I'll put one into intelligence.
So like +5 intelligence.
Yes.
Okay, very cool, excellent.
All my good stuff is all my combative stuff. Now I have 2 special weapons, like flail and fence, that I'll need to get at some point.
Okay.
What I'm thinking is, I don't know if I could get a weapon that is specific defense weapon or similar to kind of like use that for a while before I put a point in that as kind of like training with it.
Okay.
Not quite sure how you want to do that.
Well, I mean, it would probably be easier for you to like learn flail, or substitute flail with something else. If that's what you mean, Jason, I'm not sure. Because unfortunately, you need to like learn, to fight with certain weapons as a champion, because you are role playing a champion.
Yeah, I mean, like, as in the process of learning it, I would have a weapon that is one of those 2, and use it for a while without the skill, and then eventually apply the skill.
That's a good idea. Sean?
I was gonna say Conrad also already has like the specialist weapon fencing and flail, so he could teach you if you want to learn it.
Well, I think I'm going to have to, since I'm down to 1 arm. So I'm gonna have to use. Though fences can be used single-handedly, but flail is
double-handed. Yeah.
All right, so that will have to wait.
Unfortunately.
Okay. Well, I also have the specialist weapon parry, but I guess you can't parry if you only have 1 arm.
Well, I have that one already.
Okay.
Well, honestly, you can really use specialist weapon parry with a single hand. It's like training with a sword breaker, or with main gauche, or with a buckler. Probably you would need 2 hands for that, but for simplicity's sake, I can allow for like a single hand. Just not to hamstring you guys too much. Handicap.
Stance.
Yeah, parrying stance, stuff like that. Yeah.
I took a 5 toughness.
5 toughness. A very good choice for an elf, because elves are usually weaker. How much toughness do you have right now?
59.
59. Jesus. Self is like taking. It's like a chad elf.
He's pretty tall though. He's like scrawny but tall. He'd take a hit.
His hench.
I think I'm just gonna take another +5 weapon skill.
That's always a good idea, I think. Alright, last time on the Thousand Thrones, you've managed to defeat the evil Heralds of the New Dawn, or something like that. Heralds of a New Dawn, sorry. Including their leader,
Who's taking notes today?
Yeah, sorry, yeah. Who's making notes today? Yeah, actually, that's a good idea, Sean.
And
I need to create a new document.
I think it's me, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I I stood in for Brian once, and then I just did 2. I think the last 2 I did, so I think that's it for me.
Okay. So I am renaming the document. It's now updated. Oh, also, I believe in the handout section. Yeah, in the handout section you have a few new maps. You have Bluebelts camp, and you have the Green Pavilion, where you've partook in the battle with the Heralds. I also uploaded Boris Leigard's mug, but I think you saw that last time. I'm not sure. Yeah, so that's it. So who's making those? Because I like completely forgotten about that.
So I thought I was after Jason.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Brian did you get your 30 or whatever?
Yeah, I got my 3 in.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's
All right, then
so Sean.
it's me.
Okay. So
should I
yeah.
add 30 to my XP?
Sorry, naturally.
All right.
Yeah. I'm going to be drinking a lot because it's really hot here, and I'm parched.
cool.
So sorry for that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in my water today. I've been lately for whatever reason I can't seem to get.
Now that allows me to spend another point.
Okay.
So I could just can I put another in intelligence?
Of course. So it's like +10, sure. Yeah, I am drinking kwas. It's a drink made from bread.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. From black bread.
Sounds good.
It's like a Slavic Coca-Cola. If you guys ever have a chance, try it. It's very good. So anyway, you've managed to defeat Heralds of a New Dawn, including their vile leader, one Dieter van Dorf.
I think there's one guy still alive
yes,
that somebody knocked out.
And you've taken a man hostage.
That was Francisco did that, right?
Francisco did that because Francisco joined the fray with his shield, and he just went to town on those guys. Yeah, he just he bashed heads, he crushed larynxes, he murdered half of the camp with just his shield in his left.
Knocked out an elf.
Yeah, in his left hand. That's it.
Was there an
Sorry
elf?
about that.
Was there an elf there?
No, I think he knocked out Brian's character, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had there was a bot. He rode a botch.
I botched trying to run past him.
Yeah. And he got a.
Caught you with my backswing.
Okay, because I just remember. Sorry. It was because I was looking at the notes when I put in the end of the June 14th. And there was some sort of gossip about Dieter van Dorf hanging out with an elf.
There was a gossip, like some people in the Crusade told you that, but you didn't saw any elf here. That said, you still have the entire camp to search, and of course you've taken prisoner. So my question is, guys, what do you want to do now? There are lots of bodies here. That said, sorry, Brian, just 1 second now, and I'll let you in. The Herald's Pavilion is fortunately some distance away from the rest of the Crusade, so you probably don't have to worry about anyone checking the noise. Brian, go ahead.
Am I awake now?
Yeah. You came to. Your ears are ringing a bit, and you have a nasty bruise on your forehead, but that's it. So, please, boys.
All right, so we pretty much stopped right after the conclusion of the fight.
Yes.
So,
So I wish I could have studied torture. I think I can start practicing.
You can torture the guy. Just have your I believe it's toughness. No, it's strength. And if you
fellowship apparently.
Fellowship. Okay.
Which is weird.
Or no, it's like you get the option. I think you could do like it was either strength or weapons.
Or fellowship, because you can. Yeah, Brian is right, because you can either like physically torture him or mentally. That said, if you botch, the man will die. Just so you know.
Right. No, I think he will die of embarrassment.
You can see on the map. By the way, I've uploaded the green pavilion so you guys can see how this whole place looks. So you can tell me what you want to do. Sorry. Next.
Where's
So
it? Okay, never mind. It's an image. All right, I was looking
Yeah.
at the map.
So Conrad wants to bind the or have we already done that?
You have already done that. You have already.
Okay. So I think we need to search the tent and all these people for incriminating evidence, and then question this man. And I forget who was the.
You've killed Dieter Van Dorf personally because he botched the key.
Yeah, right. I do remember that. I remember I didn't really get to kill people on my own as much as they just killed themselves. But
Yeah.
I'll take what I can get. I think we should, find whatever the incriminating evidence is, and how it links back to Ali, and then question this guy before we drag him back to. Well, before we decide what to do with him, whether we solved him ourselves or whether we drag him back to the crusade. What do you guys say?
Well, maybe that's a decision for once we root through the place, and then we'll have a little more idea on what to do with them.
Good thinking.
Yeah,
Francisco's going to start
I'll start
kicking
going over
around.
bodies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are checking the bodies first. So I guess you're starting. with...
Actually, let's make sure there's nobody in the tent.
Yeah.
Just do a quick trot around the rest of the property, make sure nobody's hiding, and then we'll get back to the looting.
Okay, you enter the tent, and inside you find cushioned chairs and feathered mattresses, filling the interior of the pavilion, revealing their relatively rich accommodations. It's clear. You see one thing. It's clear from the number of beds that the heralds that you've encountered here are but a fraction of the larger numbers. There must be many more in the encampment, in the crusade. At least 8. On a wooden table in the center of the pavilion is a pamphlet for the passion play, which is to be performed 1 day hence, in Caro's honor. It's tomorrow. 2 sheafs of parchment containing lines to the play can also be discovered. You've discovered them. And 2 parts have been underlined. And I'll just see if I've... wait a second. Actually checking my physical book. Oh yeah. Heldenhammer, a passion play performed in 8 acts for your enjoyment, written by Wilhelm Schumacher, author of other classic tales such as The Barber Surgeon of Bilbali and The Ice Princess and the 7 Dwarfen Warriors. See the tale of our Lord Sigmar as it has never been seen before. See a tale of life, death and rebirth. Marvel at the heroism, gasp at the fearsome orc warlord, grim god bone crusher. Cheer as King Ironbird is saved from certain death. Weep at the losses, goggle at the elaborate costumes, wince at the tight trousers, performances nightly, soon to be performed for Carl himself. You also see that there are 2 elaborate actors' costumes here, and some less richly appointed extras apparel. Everyone roll, those of you who can actually, roll me a -10 common knowledge empire test. And now I need to upload something very quickly.
Boink. Oh man.
What is that? Intelligence?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Mine's specific to Middenheim. Does that matter?
No.
Okay.
I think this is common knowledge empire. We'll figure out. Oh yeah, it was. Woohoo! I rolled a 1. I know
Oh.
everything.
Okay, that's a good row spent on this stuff. Okay, wait a second.
And Jason got a virus on his phone while he was trying to Google it.
Click for great deals. Oh yeah.
Ray-Bans. I love Ray-Bans.
90% off. Yes, please.
That was another fun thing that happened over the last couple weeks. Is I got a credit alert. I was like, "What's this?" And I was like, "Oh, somebody tried to take out a small business loan in my name in Atlanta." That was fun.
So what did you do?
I called the credit monitoring company and told them that was a fraud, and they told me they'd get back to me within 30 days, and they did, and they deleted it from my credit history.
Okay. that's
But it's just fucking annoying, and they did it to my wife too.
Okay. Jesus.
Yeah.
Whoever stole the money is out off on an island somewhere right now.
Yeah.
Probably.
They never go after the people.
All I did was send them $1,000 in bitcoins, and they said I would get double back.
In the handout section, there's the Heldenhammer pamphlet. You guys can read yourselves later if you wish to.
Okay.
It's basically what I've just read to you right now. So who passed? Because I was busy.
I rolled a critical success, if that is such a thing, and I rolled a 1 out of 42.
Oh, and Jason botched. Jason, you want to reroll that?
He sticks it in his eye.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like I'm daydreaming. I'm assuming, or
not exactly.
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So.
Well, that's the thing about the botches. They are always nasty. But I'll be.
Piano falls on it.
The claymore goes off. Sorry. Sean and Conrad and Catvale. Actually both of you recognize the costumes, the elaborate costumes, as depicting. Let's say that only you, Conrad, did that. Sorry, but Catvale has no chance of knowing that. So, even though you've passed, Brian, this is one of those instances where even if you did so, like lore-wise, it won't make any sense. So, Conrad, you've recognized the costumes as depicting Grimgod Bonecrusher, the notorious Orc warlord, and the Dwarf King Ironbird. And there is also a vial of a viscous black fluid here. Meanwhile, Francisco, you are sifting through the things on the table, where suddenly you've pricked your finger, your index finger, on a needle hidden under a piece of parchment.
Now hold on. This wasn't a search roll. This was a common knowledge roll.
Yeah, I guess so.
If I was doing a search roll, then I would roll for luck.
Okay.
But you want me to? I could roll for it. I'll spend a luck.
No. Okay. You're right. That wouldn't be fair. That wouldn't be fair.
You got it.
So in that case, you've discovered you have a minor headache, which will give your nearest intelligence test a -5.
All right.
But only one test. Yeah. So you've discovered that, and do you guys want to search the pavilion?
At this point, I think I would go back outside and start searching the bodies, since like the main goal was to make sure nobody was here. And so now that nobody's here, I'll probably go back and start rummaging through the corpses and kind of maybe pulling them off to the side and that type of thing.
I ask Cadvale just before he goes out. I want to keep searching the pavilion, but I ask him. He's like, "Hey, this vial of black goop. Does this smell like the chokeweed or anything like that?"
Can I smell it?
Of course.
What am I rolling against?
Do you have alchemy? Do you have like botany or like I don't know, the knowledge about herbs, whatever it's called here, stuff like that? Do you?
Nation, Secret Sun.
Alchemy would probably be the best. So
Okay.
No,
so how did you knew about the chokeweed extract? What did you test that on? Was it
Yeah, I don't remember.
because you did pass the test and you knew about this poison? And I remember that it made sense. That's why I'm asking you, because
shadowing, navigation, dotted blows, set trap.
Was it natural world or something, or whatever the skill is? Like,
it can. I mean, chokeweed extract. You could even like test.
I'm not sure.
Like,
Wasn't it survival?
yeah,
Don't you have
survival, but with huge minus. But in that case, unfortunately, in case of this fluid, you need to have alchemy. You need to have like science, stuff like that. So if you don't have any of these
I don't have any of
skills,
that.
so unfortunately you can't test. Sorry. You can take it to Nils. Maybe Nils would help. After all, he's a friar, like, so perhaps he has the skills.
yeah. Conrad will pocket it
Okay.
and then keep searching the
Okay.
room.
Meanwhile, Francisco and Canveo go outside and search the bodies. Right?
Yep.
Okay. So on Dieter van Dorf, you found sword and hammer, and he had a silver clasp on his neck. Also remember that there are a lot more tents here, just so you know. Not just the
okay.
green pavilion, there are also other tents. The man that you've knocked out had a very nice looking sword. Francisco, you've spotted it, by the way. It looks very fancy. He also has about 30 flyers, like the one that you found in the pavilion. And he has a nice fat purse on his belt. You check the purse?
Oh yeah.
10 gold crowns.
Nice.
I presume that right now Francisco has this money, unless Cadveo you want to, like, I don't know, intervene, stuff like that.
I don't concern myself with such things.
Worldly things.
Understood. The other heralds had just swords, and they had total of just let me quickly see how many of them were here. How many of them? Oh, okay. 5. There were 5 heralds aside from Dieter and the men who you've knocked out. So I'm going right now to roll and see how much money did you got. So 10. Okay. Wow, that's 0, unfortunately. Yeah, 1d10. Yeah, 1d10 minus 2. Yeah, sorry. Unfortunately, you found like 0 money on them. They had purses, but they were empty. Because in the book there are like every one of them has like 1d10 minus 2. So I rolled 5 times d10, and as you can see, it's like 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. So if I would subtract 2 from every single row, from every single like number here, it would mean that it's 0.
Yep.
Or negative.
Or negative, yeah. So
yeah, like the money I found is like disappearing as I search these bodies.
You inherited their debt.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So after that, Conrad, you want to search the pavilion. Do you want to spend more time doing so? Like, to search better, so to speak.
I would like to, yes.
How long do you want to spend on doing so? Because I can tell you right now that if you would right now be rolling, you would have minus 20.
What sort of unit? Yeah.
Like, I wanted to take our time doing this, so I mean, like, I don't just want to search outside. I want them to be like very thorough. So
Yeah.
at a certain point, I'll probably come back in and help them.
So okay. Yeah.
Are we talking like in terms of like 10 minutes? Would that do it, or do I need to spend like 20 minutes?
Let's say that if you spend 20 minutes, you be having +5 to the roll. So
Okay,
like,
do we have?
yeah.
I was going to say, do we have to be anywhere at any time? Like, could we?
No,
Like-
well, I mean, I don't know. It's I don't
Maybe
remember
we-
what time of day it is, but I
Maybe
thought
we
this
could
was
do a
the next
quick-
morning.
Well, did we
The
go
way I
out?
look at
early?
it is, we don't have our motive. We have our guy. Like, it should be an open shut case, but we still don't know why. So that's what I'm looking for.
Okay, guys,
Right.
remember 2 things. First of all, 3 things. I'm going to recall them for you. First of all, there are more heralds out there. You know that. You are almost sure about that. Because of the number of the what's the name of beds.
Yeah, beds inside.
Second of all, the costumes and the passion play. The passion play pamphlet, right? That's about, and that car will be attending the passion play. The viscous black fluid found in the vial, which you are also not sure what's about that. What is that all about, right?
Right.
I'm sorry. Actually, there's only one tent here. Okay, my bad. So there are no other tents. So I don't know. Mistake in the writing here. Okay.
That's okay.
Nice
Well,
to-
yeah. So Conrad definitely feels like he needs more information, and he wants to spend his time. So he understands that there might be more people coming, but we'll kill them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Francisco. Like, depending on how many beds there are, he's looking at those beds and they look very comfortable, and he has not slept well.
Yeah, those beds
I
here, those heralds slept and lived very well. You saw that. You see that.
Like, Francisco's probably mentioning things like, "Well, we might as well just stay here." He's going to make note of the beds and see if we got this many bodies out here. How does it look like that's everybody accounted for, or are there a few folks out and about? What do you think, Cadvale?
I'll stay on watch. Like, there's definitely possibility we can get jumped out here. So
Do you think it'd be safer here than in the camp? We got your shadows and other figures that seem to be following us around.
I think we need to find out what's going on here before we head out.
Francisco kind of nods, then starts dragging the bodies to out of sight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Conrad has an idea, but you guys are outside, so he can't tell you.
So Conrad, maybe you want to roll for now. +5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a +5 search test.
What happened? Can I do that?
You don't want to botch, by the way.
Okay. Oh, I just need to. Apparently, I closed my. Damn it. Closed my character sheet. I am doing a search test. Is that what we said?
Yeah. +5. Okay. You want to spend luck?
Hold on a second.
Remember that if you fail search test, it means that there's nothing here for you. You've searched it.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a luck to reroll that. 'Cause I feel like it's important enough to try to get it. Search.
Ah, whoa!
Now we're talking.
Sean, you are going places today. 1, now 2, awesome.
A
So,
-3.
you have... you found a total of 56 gold crowns, 200,
Yeah, baby.
207 silver, and a signet ring containing a ruby.
Jesus.
Do you have what's the word? Do you evaluate?
Harold. No, of course not.
Does anyone here have evaluate? I don't think that you do. You are martial characters.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay, so even without evaluate, Sean, you know that the signet ring is probably worth a lot. It's gold with a beautiful gemstone set in it, red gemstone, and you have total of 56. I'm going to even write it just so you'll be here.
Yeah, 56 gold, 207 silver. All right,
Yeah.
sweet. I pour it on the ground and roll around in it now.
I mean, it's like sorry, and you found even more. You found you found the disguise kit,
Ooh.
and you found in the disguise kit, it probably belonged to Dieter. You found another 15 gold crowns.
It has like a pair of fake glasses, a nose, and a
Fake
mustache.
nose,
Yeah.
fake mustache.
Yeah. No, I'm not Dieter Van Dorf. I am salesman McGee, real man. Yeah,
Say,
so that's
so,
that.
guys, I'm going on vacation to Tilia. See you later.
So yeah, that's that.
All right.
At some
Sweet.
yeah. So do you tell the other guys about it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Be like,
Yeah.
guys, I think our food and shelter problems are solved. Check this out.
The funny thing is that no, they're not solved, because you know that money in this place will they don't really matter.
Yeah, money doesn't matter because there's no food to be had.
Yeah, like food is money here, literally. You even saw that people are usually bartering with food, and you can't eat money. As funny as that sounds. That said, if you would, for example, visit Naon or Outdoor for Middenheim, that amount of money would be a very good start for you. So that's what you found, and it took you almost half an hour to thoroughly search the tent, search the bodies, stuff like that. At this point, your prisoner woke up and started screaming, "Help! Help! They've kidnapped me! Murderers! Brigands! Help!" Because you didn't told me that you gagged him. You've only told me.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
Yeah.
So I start beating him.
Okay, so you've jumped and start just laying down smack on him. He's like, "Ow! Oh! Ow!" I presume that you're beating him so that not to kill him, just to shut him up.
I actually do have strike to stun, by the way.
Okay, but
Like, you're not trying to knock him out, though. You're just trying to.
you're trying to knock him out, or you're just trying to to strike him a few times so as he'll just shut up.
I'm trying to get him to be quiet. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. So after few strikes from you, he's like, all right, I'm going to be quiet. Don't hit me, please. You see that?
And if you need me to, I can roll a menacing roll or something on that.
No. You see that this man is pretty weak. It's clear that he was some kind of noble once. He's wearing fine though worn clothing, consisting of blue pantaloons and a white shirt beneath a red vest. Low brown shoes cover his feet. This was the man that carried 30 or so flyers for the Passion Play. And he had this very nice weapon, which, by the way, Francisco, you took this weapon?
Yeah.
Alright, so you can add a superior hand weapon to your character sheet.
Nice.
So it gives you +10 to weapon skill.
Sweet.
That said, you can still only use it in your left hand. So it will be -20 plus 10, so it will be only -10. So yeah, still not too bad. Oh, it's just a superior hand. Sorry, it's a superior sword. And also Heralds, they have armor on them, like leather jerkin, but do you really want to like tear it off of them?
Well, I have no armor, so.
Okay, so in that case, you found leather jerkin, which only gives you 1 on your body, and only on your body.
Okay.
So yeah, so only on the torso. Okay, you found like a single matching set of, single matching like leather jerkin. What's your course of action now? You think that the Heralds they are up to something involving the play, probably.
I say, guys, come here for a second. I've got an idea.
The man that you've beaten up just, lays on the ground sobbing, crying quietly. It's clear that he's in over his head. He didn't expect that.
I wanna take those 10 gold and just throw them in with the others.
All right.
Just say this is all I found besides this sword, and I'm gonna just sling the shield on my back. Just have it.
So you have total of 81 gold, 207 silver.
Okay.
So that's quite a lot.
Yeah,
if you want to carry all of this, you need to take few purses from the dead heralds.
Yeah, well, yeah, I definitely want to do that. I was thinking that we just split it 3 ways and each carry a third of it. However that works out.
How much is 207 silver? Like in gold terms, because it's a few gold crowns, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's
10 golds, something, right?
Oh.
God damn it! I always
10 gold,
forget
7 silver, right?
I think so, yeah. Or
I
was
was
it?
on mute. I thought it was like weird. Like I thought one of them was like 12 and the other one was 10 or 20.
Pennies, I think.
Yeah, but I don't remember.
Yeah, sorry. I've got the let me. I've got the book handy. I just have to open it up to the right page. Because of course I forget what the exchange rate is every time and don't have it written down somewhere. Or maybe I did on Leopold's character sheet and then I forgot about it. For races. Are you kidding me?
I'll quickly check.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have the first half of the table of contents in my book because I got it used and somebody had ripped out the first page, so I only have the second half of the table of contents.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll open up.
This is
I have it like PDF here.
This is all very valuable, correct? Like this is a massive sum.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a shitload of money.
Okay, I have it here.
I'm gonna suggest we bury it.
Yeah, it's 20 crowns and 7 pennies. So you have a total of 101 crowns and 101 crowns, 7 silver.
Okay.
I'm going to even write it. Do you want to split?
Yeah, Conrad's thought was that if we just split it into thirds and each carry a third of it, then our chances of keeping most of it will be better.
Okay. The rest of you?
Yep, that's fine by me.
I think if you two split it 2 ways, and just make sure I don't ever have a need, then I'm fine with that.
Well, yeah, but like I said, I mean, the main reason is less about, being equal in shares and more about if none of us is carrying the bulk of the money, then we stand to lose less of it through.
Yeah.
So I understand that you don't need money, but if you hold on to a portion of it, it'll probably be safer than if I hold all of it or him and I hold half of it each.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
So he's saying, would you be willing to carry some of, I guess, our
Carry
share?
essentially 30 to 35 gold.
Yeah, I'll throw some lichen in the coin purse to keep it quiet or something.
Yeah, you can stuff coin purses with strips of cloth, and that way the money won't clank so much. Though that said, the coin purses are still big. Like 101 gold crowns means that each of you takes what? 35, 30. I guess Catveo takes 30 like 31 since he doesn't really care about money, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he probably takes 7 silver. So Catveo takes 31 gold crowns, 7 silver. Francisco and Conrad take 35 crowns.
Yes. Okay, that works.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
That's a lot of money. So what next?
Okay, got it.
What were you able to find?
Oh, and I put I don't want to put the ring on. I also put the ring in my pouch.
Yeah, I mean you can hide the ring,
Or put it on a string around my neck and put it under my shirt.
Yeah, stuff like that. Okay.
So my thought is this: we take all of the bodies into the pavilion, and put them on the beds and douse them with oil, and then we take our friend in there and throw oil on him and tell him we're going to set them all on fire, and unless he tells us everything.
Okay.
These are pretty nice beds. You sure you don't want to stay here the night?
I think that his friends are coming back, and I would rather leave them a smoldering pile of ashes.
I'm gonna kind of count the beds. Does that make sense? That there might be more people coming back, or
yes,
more people?
like I said,
Okay.
at least 8 more people.
Francisco sighs heavily, seeing the. He's actually gonna look and gather a couple nice blankets and stuff and roll them up, because I don't think we have the best of furnishings where we're at.
Yeah, in the small shrine of Nils, yeah.
And he's going to kind of be going through clothes while just, trying to get himself cleaned up and comfortable, because he hasn't been feeling well.
Yeah, okay.
Find anything on...
I mean, like, you're searching for a new set of clothes here.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. No problem. You even have, quality clothes now.
Okay.
Like, better quality clothes. It's clear that these people here were living, a relatively good life. Which is really unusual for the Crusade of the Child, by the way. So, anyway... you're discussing your options. Please do.
As long as it's just a ruse and you don't actually intend to light an unarmed man on fire, that's fine. I just don't want any part in it.
No, I
We never said anything about cutting his arms off.
I take them over, so I try to whisper to them so that the guy can't hear us. I'm like, no, I don't actually want to set him on fire, but I do want to burn this place and these bodies to the ground after we leave. This guy, I say we get him to spill his guts, and then we take him back and throw him at Carl's encampment, and they'll deal with it.
Well, if we light this place on fire, we need to make sure that anything of value that our authorities may need or want to find isn't left behind. Because if we reveal that there was an encampment of people trying to sabotage the play, well, then they might send their own investigators, and I don't know if they'd look kindly of us destroying any evidence that they deem might be necessary.
Well, that's just it. We are the investigators.
Yep.
And these guys are the ones putting on the play. So
No, these guys are not the ones putting on the play. That's the thing. That's what worries you. Schumacher is the one organizing the play. You've never heard about these guys, but it's clear that they are interested in somehow. They have two costumes, very nice looking costumes, and a couple of other less nice looking. But two costumes are very important. They represent King Ironbird, who was saved by Sigmar before at the dawn of the Empire, and Warlord Grimgod, whom Sigmar defeated in the Battle of Blackfire Pass. So, what this means, and you guys know this without even rolling, is that probably some of those people were supposed to dress as actors during the play. Attended, which will be attended by the child himself, Sigmar Reborn. And there's also, the case of this vial, right? Oh, and Van Dorf had the leather, the leather flask with the serpent motif, sticking from under his cloak.
Okay, yeah, we also take that.
Yeah, so it's clear that these men are using poison, and it's clear that these men are up to no good.
How do you think they would administer the poison?
Well, it either because they're talking about performing it in front of Carl, that maybe the during these two during this battle somehow they'll have a chance to somehow get poison on or in Carl, or use the battle as a distraction for somebody else to do it. But maybe we should take these costumes as further proof that somebody's trying to infiltrate the play, and that therefore Carl shouldn't watch it.
I don't know how it's done here in the Empire, but in Estalia, many assassin would have small crossbows hidden away. You didn't come across anything like that, did you?
No, I didn't. Just mostly money, and the poison, the weird substance that we found that we don't know what it is, and that vial of poison that we think is chokeweed.
Well, sounds like the assassin may not be here then, if we don't really see a weapon that would
maybe it's that elf they were talking about.
Maybe.
But I still how do you guys feel about just burning this place down after we take the various evidence, or because they're already going to know that we were here with all the dead bodies and whatnot.
Francisco, shrugs and looks around to see if there's anything else of value he can take.
No.
Well, let's like I said, let's take these. We've got these flyers. We've got the poisons. Let's take the costumes. And then this guy after we threatened it.
Remember that Schumacher, the creator of the play, engaged one of you and offered him a role.
Right, that was Conrad, I thought.
Okay. So remember those things, guys. They can be important.
I'll grab the costumes and roll them up in one of the nice clean blankets and stuff. Kind of sling it.
You'll have trouble moving two costumes at once. They are quite big.
Oh, well then I'll do one, then see if...
Yeah, Conrad will take the other.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in that case, what are you doing about the man? Are you questioning him?
Yeah.
Okay. you let's say for convenience sakes that you've discussed these things in the pavilion. The sky is slightly overcast. It's windy, though you are surrounded by rubble because the heralds, set their camp in the middle of a big pile of rubble, which, to which the entrance was very intricately made. Like the corridor, the tunnel in the rubble leading here, was set up in such a way that it was easy to move a couple of racks, to make some rakas, stuff like that. It's clear that these men really valued their secrecy and their privacy, and for all the wrong reasons. What's that sound?
My bad, I thought I was on mute.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of coke over here.
He's already preparing the power drew to drew the guy's knees or something.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is it safe?
You don't need both of those. Yeah.
The elf wants to take your arms.
Yeah, so anyway, you emerge from the pavilion. The man is laying on the ground. He actually soiled himself. He pissed himself. He's looking at you with wide eyes, and it's clear that he's terrified. He's like, please don't hurt me.
Tell me why
I'm gonna say
shouldn't burn you.
out loud so he can hear me. I don't want to watch this, and then I just turn away and stand guard.
All right.
Okay, so I have already dragged in the corpses and doused them in oil. Hopefully at this point.
Yeah.
And I say to him, tell me why I shouldn't burn you like the heretic you are.
We are no heretics. It's not like that. Look, it was all Dieter's idea, all right?
Go on.
I was a noble once, a man of minor power, but Dieter changed all that when he opened my eyes to the injustice around me. I fled with him into Tylea, and you see that he's actually, he has this look on his face, Sandy, that he's thinking if he should say what he's about to say. And that's where he found us. But I can't tell anything more. If I do, he'll give me a fate worse than whatever you could envision.
You have one more chance. Give me a name. Who is this person?
Intimidate him if you want to.
Oh, I'm good at that.
He's not going to tell you otherwise.
Okay. So I have.
By the way, he is terrified of you, but he's also terrified of him.
Sure.
Whoever he is.
So my regular intimidate is 59 with a plus 10%.
So it's 69.
Yeah, baby.
Hey-o.
It's always a success. Oh, nice. Okay, so I'm going to counter roll, but I don't think I'll. Oh shit, he won.
Oh, son of a bitch.
No, I don't think so. No, he didn't, because it's counter strength, right?
Yes.
So you have what? 34?
My strength is a 49.
Yeah,
and
so
then
you
I
have 4 full successes. He has only 2. So
Okay.
he would have to roll 0, 1. Okay. You just jump to the man, catch him by the neck, begin to slap him, to just shout in his face. By the way, Francisco, you never saw anything like that. Cadveo, you never saw anything like that. For a few seconds, it looks like the man might resist, but then he breaks down completely and just begins to wail and cry. Big fat tears run down his face. Snot emerges from his nose in huge gobbets. I'll tell you, but I'm going to be dead man. Stuff like that. we fled into Tylea with Dieter and the other heralds. We were sorry. We were a reactionary group created to oppose the perceived political excess of the Midland nobility. We've become a thorn in many a petty noble's side. We vanished 2 years ago, escaped from the empire when the things got too hot for us. We fled to Tylea, but there the Trua found us.
Who?
I don't know this creature's real name, and I'm sure that the Trua is he's not really. It's not his real name. It's a blood drinker, a vampire, ancient and horrible, with a visage so monstrous that when he first encountered us, well, actually when we first encountered him in Tylea, a couple of our members just dropped dead from fear itself. He made us his slaves. He told us that he'll use us to kill the impostor, to kill the false champion of the night. He calls the child that. He calls the Sigma Reborn
A child of the night?
champion of the night.
Champion of the night.
The Trua believes that he's the true champion of the night, and to cement his position, he needs to kill this kid, this child.
He thinks the child is a vampire?
I don't know. The Dieter was much well versed in all this stuff. I only heard snippets, and Dieter wasn't telling me, even though I was his second in command. Look, that Rua is mad, all right. He's there's nothing human about him. He's insane. He's a monster. He's gibbering all the time. I mean, when he thankfully seldomly meets us, he's nothing. He's like nothing from this world. It's like he's like madness incarnate. I'm doing what I'm doing because I wanted to survive. Because it was too late for me to flee. Even though I disagreed with many of Dieter's methods, like the poisoning and the assassinations. But I couldn't do anything. If I would run, they would just kill me, or Detra would find me and I don't know, make me something even worse than a dead man. You have to understand, please.
All right, we will take you. We will spare your life for now and take you back to
I can tell you Dieter's plan. He plans to move against the child during the play. Yeah. He plans to use assassins. Not all of us were here when you've attacked us. Some of us are mingled with the crusade, and they are preparing to strike tomorrow when the time comes. The costumes there, you saw them. There will be heralds in the backstage and on the stage itself and in the crowds. I can and Sandy, you see, when you are speaking to this man, as if everywhere around you, like it became dark, way too dark for this time of the day, and you hear this wind, this chill wind, and you actually feel this chill wind coming from all directions, and you hear traitor. Cadveo, you and you alone, since you are an elf, you can feel the even though you're not gifted, you can feel the surge of aetheric power of the most debased, horrible kind.
My hand instinctively goes for the bow.
Yeah, your hand began to go for the bow. The man, who by the way introduced himself to you, well, I mean, he told you his name, Frederick Manninger, begins to scream. He begins to scream horribly, and in front of your eyes, he begins to age. I'm
going to swing at him with my sword.
Before you even think about doing this, the man begins to age 50, 60, 70 years in a span of less than a second.
Like Indiana Jones?
Yeah, even faster. So when you've raised your newly found sword in your really shaking hand, before you even had a chance to drop it on the man, there's nothing of him left but dust. And the chill wind dissipates, and the darkness goes away. Yeah.
Might be a good time to light this fire and get out of here.
Say, stock up on some garlic and steaks. Yes, let us. We've got our evidence except for the man. Let's set this on fire and beat feet.
Exit stage right.
And I think let's find Niels and just get confirmation on this goop, and then take it straight to. So here's the deal. We're not supposed to go back to the thing, but I think this is important enough that we need to tell them.
Well, what were the requirements? Were the requirements not to return at all, or return only if we haven't?
Only if you. I mean, probably if you've discovered, that someone wants to kill Carl, even more than should return.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like actual thing. We are going to try and kill Carl at the at the play. Is pretty much the best we're gonna get.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, back to.
I think. Well, what do you guys think? We need to just go straight for Carl, or do you want to double check with Niels what this stuff? Actually, do we really need to check? We that it's poison. I mean, we have all this information. And
that said, you think that maybe speaking with Niels, who was part of the inner circle. And who's probably, he's friendly to you. That's one thing, and that Conrad, even that in the inner circle there are a lot of power plays, and there are a lot of people there who do not trust each other. That's the thing.
Okay.
It's a nest of serpents, essentially.
All right, so let's get we at least have Niels on our side. Let's go get him and see if he can ID this stuff for him, and then we'll go to see Carl. What do you think?
Yeah, let's be quick about it. Well, when's the play? Do we know when the play is?
I thought it was tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Well, yeah, let's step on it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you exit the Heralds Pavilion, and you make your way through the Crusade of the Child towards Nil's tent, which I like to remind you it's still on the map. You can see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's far away.
Yeah, it takes you quite a lot. And by the way, when you were making your way through the Crusade, all of you at some point saw a tall, lithe figure in long, leprous cloak, stained with some horrible stuff, looking at you from in between various tents. You've caught the glimpse of it, between a couple of arguing crusaders, or just disappearing from your sight behind a stack of barrels, stuff like that.
I want to ask Cadvale, is that who you were talking about?
Is that the same guy?
What do you mean, the same guy?
The guy that
the
was
same...
following him earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems so.
I'm gonna quietly and discreetly just say yes.
Should we go after him?
I would say we need to do this first before we go on a side mission that may may get us losing all of our evidence.
Well, just
If he's
realize
following
whoever
like maybe I could break off and try to follow him.
You're not sure that you'd be able to.
Okay.
You can try, but it would probably be very hard.
Just keep in mind, everybody, this person who's following us probably knows who we're going to see and talk to, so we put their lives on the line.
Well, if they already know, then their life is already on the line. And we should get to Niels even faster. Maybe he's already been killed.
Very well.
Okay, so you make your way as fast as possible to Niels. Just wait a second. Okay.
Hey, can I take a break for a second? I need to use
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some coffee too.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Be back in a sec.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I'm here. I don't know if anybody else is back.
Nice. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm making a flight yoke for my flight simulators, and I just got finished with like the structure, so now I'm gonna have to start running all the wires and stuff for it.
Okay.
So modeled it after the P-38, if you're familiar with it.
Yeah, no. It's very cool plane.
Yeah. So it's got a yoke, which is, you know, like the steering wheel style. It's not a joystick. And so I'm building that. Like 3D printed all the parts, and now I'm gonna have to start running all the wires for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where it's like some of the buttons are spring loaded, and so you have to like get everything lined up all nice, otherwise they won't come together.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm back.
So everyone's here?
I think so.
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so you are making your way back to Neil's tent. And eventually you return there. You are worried that, well, maybe not worried, but anxious that perhaps you'll find Nils dead inside. But when you enter the tent, you see that the young man kneels before his humble altar to the man god and just prays. When he turns around, you can see that his eyes are very tired. They are ringed with like the dark patches of skin. He's sweaty a bit. He sweats a bit. "Oh, you're back, friends. I'm so glad," he says to you. "Are you all right? I can see that you've acquired some new gear." He looks at your sword, Francisco.
Yes, well, we found an encampment and found some information there that is we think must be reported immediately.
I see. What the...
Also, we're being followed, so be mindful of that in the future.
"I will," he says, with a serious look on his face. "Sigmar is my protector, and I'm not afraid of anything. What did you find?"
Well, for starters, we found this. I don't know. Is it a vial? Whatever it is. This black goo here, and we don't know what it is. We assume it's poison. Can you tell us what it is?
I'm going to check if he has the appropriate skills. Wait a second.
It's actually really bothering me, like, now, like, how did I tell what it was last time?
I think...
I thought it was a survival test, and then, like, the rationale was, like, I thought it was just something that wood elves would be familiar with, or something like that.
I don't see a relevant skill, though. I mean, like, there had to be something, like...
Well, it could have been...
I thought it was I thought it was like outdoor survival or something.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
I will roll for Nils, but he doesn't have the appropriate skill, but he has the closest appropriate skill, let's just say, so I'm going to check this. Nah. He looks at the vial, he sniffs the contents. "I don't know what it is, friend Catvale. I'm afraid I don't have enough knowledge about such things to tell you. I'm sorry. Well, that said, it looks unpleasant."
But yes, we need to go and report to the council immediately, or to Carl immediately.
But what do you want to report? Please tell me.
There's a plot to kill him at the at the performance of the Heldenhammer play tomorrow. We found these what we think are poisons, these costumes for the main characters of the play, and man, before he died, told us that was their plot, that they were infiltrating essentially the entire crusade in order to kill Carl at the behest of a foul undead.
Undead? The crusade had problems with the undead before Altdorf. We were attacked by one of the creatures of the night. I was traveling with the other party back then, a party of good men. There was the Stalabeklander and 2 Wissenlanders, I think. Yes, there was a Sigmarite priest. Anyway, before we reached Altdorf, we were attacked by a bunch of flesh eaters and a horrible vampire bat, which was able to transform into some sort of war form. The Crusaders were victorious, but it was clear that the vampire, and he made a sign of a comet, wanted to kidnap the boy. My friends, it's clear the Heralds you have already encountered are but a few, and that this plot is already well underway. We must cancel the play and shore up our defenses before Carl's enemies spring their attack. The situation is troubling indeed, for it was my hope that this play would lift the spirits of the Crusaders and remind them of their united purpose. If only there was a way that the show could go on and for us to be able to catch the killers. You see that Nils thinks for a second. I've got it! The crusade needs the play and Carl needs to catch whoever it is that's behind this plot. What if one or more of you participated in this drama, taking a role in the performance? I realize that this gives you little time to prepare, but it would give you access behind the stage, as well as give you a commanding view of the audience. What do you say?
Conrad looks to see if there's any signs of vampire bite marks on Neil's neck.
No.
Funny you should mention that, Niels. The guy running the play did say he had a part for me.
Which part? Who are you going to play?
I have no idea.
It was.
I forgot about that.
I think it was Orc number 3.
Orc number 3 is that what he said?
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember. It was something stupid like that.
Yeah. That was it.
I thought it was more like soldier number.
Yeah,
3,
generic soldier.
Yeah, generic soldier number 4. Yeah, that's that.
But you do have the looks of an orc, so
Yeah.
you'll play that part well.
Wait a second. Soldier 3. Exactly. That's perfect. That is perfect. Look, this is the only way to make sure that the child will be safe. You can go to the inner circle, but I would advise against it, says Nils with a very serious face. The inner circle, they do not agree with each other, and they all work to gain the most in the eyes of Carl. I wouldn't trust any of them, honestly. Maybe Helmut. He was always a decent man. But if, for example, Father Johannes will learn about this, or Koller, the champion of Carl, who knows what might happen. Of course, it's just my idea, but child must be safe. Otherwise, if something would happen to Carl, all of those people would just tear each other apart. Look, if Schumacher wants you to participate in the play, Conrad, and we have 2 costumes here as well, that means that you all can make sure that this vampire, this creature of the night, won't harm the child. I can be in the crowds, be on the lookout for anything suspicious. You can be on the stage and behind the stage. And if what you said is true, if those heralds wanted to integrate themselves in the play, that means that they will be among the actors and the crew.
Mhm. Can you make us holy water?
I can, but I'm not sure how well this will work.
Well, yeah, not against humans in the service of vampires, obviously.
Well, I mean, I will make you holy water, of course, and let's just hope that it will be enough, right?
All right, so it looks like we need to find this Schumacher guy and get into the play somehow.
He'll be probably behind the stage. The stage is erected right outside the child's pavilion. You'll almost certainly find him there. I will go with you, of course. That said, perhaps tomorrow we won't have enough time. From what I've understood, the play will be tomorrow. Will start tomorrow in the early evening.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's up to you. I just don't think that going to the inner circle with this is a wise idea. It will do more harm than good. Trust me, I've been with them for the last couple of weeks.
I agree.
They would like to think that they're doing the right thing and that they're helping the child, but the truth is that they are mostly helping themselves.
Right. So.
And who knows if some of them, and he whispers, are not in league. After all, we've had a situation like that before. One of the inner circle members from the very start of the crusade, one Vanderpeer, turned out to be a cultist, and he kidnapped Karen Aldorf. The good men that I've mentioned you before, including the Sigmarite priest, gave chase, and they've all lost their lives trying to stop this man, this monster.
Yeah. Conrad almost forgot that he wasn't involved in that.
Yeah. No one. I mean, only Francisco was involved in that.
Yeah.
Francisco, only you remember, the dwarf who traveled from Altdorf. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember my traveling companion before we got into this ruckus.
Yeah, and you remember the priest as well. The priest of Sigmar, Vrentar.
That guy.
He always smelled like fish.
His head smelled like sulfur.
Why were you sniffing his head?
He caught fire.
Oh, well, that's true.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his head he did magic, then his head caught fire.
Oh, I forgot about that. Nice.
He turned into Skeletor.
Yeah.
That was pretty rough. At the end.
Who's the motorcycle guy?
Now, He-Man!
Yeah.
Nay. You steroid-abusing bastard! Sorry.
Who's the motorcycle comic book character whose head turns into
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Ghost Rider.
Johnny
You
Blaze.
mean Nicolas Cage?
Oh yeah.
With or without the wig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It burned off.
Yeah, so Nils looks at you expectantly. It's clear, you see that it's clear that he'll follow you whatever path you choose. But it's also clear that he's really worried about all of this.
Well, it sounds like we need to. I trust your wisdom in the ways of the council, Herr I forgot what his last name.
I'm just Nils for you, friend Conrad. I'm a simple friar. I'm Nils Freiburg, but I serve Sigmar.
Freiburg the Friar. Got it.
Yes. Just a funny thing. In Polish language, friar, when you speak like that, means sucker. You know, like, oh, you sucker. You know, something like that. Like a dope, a sucker. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just an interesting piece of lore. No, whatever. Yeah. Let's go back.
So it sounds like the plan is that we go find Schumacher and get ourselves inserted into the play so that we can foil their dastardly plan.
I agree, but you should not tell Schumacher about the costumes.
Okay.
After all, I'm pretty sure that the Heralds got those. Those are probably not the real costumes that, you know, the actual actors will wear, like the actual Ironbird and Grimgod actors will wear. If I would hazard a guess, I would say that the Heralds wanted to kill them, or maybe already killed them, and they wanted to wear those costumes to integrate themselves in the play. So keep the costumes hidden right now. I mean, take them with you tomorrow, but keep them hidden. So perhaps only you, Conrad, will take part in the play, while Catvale and Francisco, you'll be as a backup. Probably, I haven't saw too many plays. So mainly, like in my youth, in Outdorf, I mainly saw only the religious ones, but almost always there seemed to be a need for, you know, backup people behind the stage. Okay, let's go to find Schumacher. Maybe we'll manage to get a chance. We'll manage to get a copy of the script.
Right. Perhaps you should go alone, and we'll tail behind you, Conrad.
Sounds good. Or I can go with Nielsen.
You really want to split?
Not split, just like we don't want to be seen with Conrad.
Okay.
So we'll just be, you know, I'll let Cadvale keep an eye, but we won't be far behind. We'll be, you know, 30 yards behind in a crowded street. So, or as far as we need to, so we can keep an eye out.
Okay, naturally.
Does that make sense? Do you guys agree?
Yeah, that's fine. If you guys feel that's safer than being all together and fighting whoever.
We're not going to fight.
Well, hopefully you'll not have to fight. I mean,
yeah, we're not going to be too far away. We're going to be within earshot for sure.
20 paces behind you.
Yeah, and it's going to be we'll be within the city or within the camp. So,
okay.
The entire idea for this is to avoid fighting and killing, is to neutralize the threat that would, that could threaten Caro before it actually even happens.
Well, I mean, yes.
So let's just hope that this will work. Okay, let's go. And with that, you exit the tent.
Yes.
And you move towards the child's compound, which is number 3 on the map, Car's compound. Fortunately, this one is much closer to your current location than it was, from Herald's pavilion to Nils tent.
Mm-hmm.
You eventually reach the stage, and you can see that the performers set up the stage and costume area just outside the child's compound. And this area is a chaotic jumble of tents, props, carts, and actors. The staging area is not fenced off from the Colt's campsite, so curious crusaders also stand around and generally get in the way, much to the distress of Wilhelm Schumacher, who is nearly pulling his hair out while holding, a copy of the script and just making sure that everything is set, commandeering his charges, shouting orders and directions. Hurry up! Move those orc costumes! Oh, by Detlef Sierk's balls, do I have to do everything myself? Where's dwarf number 6? Who's dwarf number 6? Stuff like that. It's clear that there's a lot going on, and that the man is only barely managing this whole crowd. You approach the man, Conrad, with Nils in tow, and Francisco and Cadveo follow behind you, some distance behind you. By the way, when you were moving towards Carl's compound, you saw once again, a couple of times, the strange beggar. Just so you know. Alright, Nils says to you, Conrad, I'll let you do the talking. And he stands like a few yards back.
Neil. Okay. I say hello, Herr Schumacher. Is it?
Oh, hello there. I'm sorry, sir. As you can see, I'm very busy, says Schumacher. Please visit the play tomorrow. I mean, it will be incredible. It will be almost on par of my. One of my most favorite tales, which is the Barber Surgeon of Bilbali.
I was wondering if you still had a part for me. I ran into you the other day.
Oh, that's right. He looks at you with wide eyes, and it's clear that he finally recognized you. Soldier number 3, of course. Here's the script. And he gives you his copy of the script while pulling out another copy from his trousers. Here, learn your lines. Actually, you know what? Learn all of it. I may need you for other roles as well. Tomorrow, be here tomorrow like 15 minutes or 30 minutes before we start. Naturally, no weapons behind the stage. Just so you know. So you have to leave these things at home. We only use props here. And yeah, I'll see you here. Now, off you go. I'm very busy, as you can see. Off you go.
I just noticed a major flaw. This is out of character. I just noticed a major flaw in my plan.
Which is?
I don't know how to read or write, apparently.
Well, you have nails.
Does any of us know how to read or write?
Well, you have nails, so you probably just read it to you out loud.
Jesus Christ. A slight oversight there,
nothing to have. Yeah.
I think I essentially focused on my fighting abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Double check that I didn't have it and forget to write it down.
Yeah, I'm looking. I got.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Yeah, I don't have it either.
Sorry. At least I figured it out before we got through the whole thing and was like, oh shit, I don't know how to read.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So he says, yeah, I'll get right on it.
Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't be late, says Schumacher, and he starts shouting at a couple of prop what's the word? Prop men, prop pushing men. I'm not sure what's the word in English for that.
Yeah, just
there's all kinds.
That's good enough. Yeah.
People who
best boy.
Yeah, best boys. Thank you.
No, I think best. Well, there's all kinds of film ones that I remember looking at them, and I at one point I did learn what some of them were. There's the gaffer, the best boy. all kinds of fun stuff. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I know them. I know them in Polish. Back from my time in film as well. But but yeah, I forgot about the names in English, and I remembered them as well. I have to remember them later. Anyway, you return to Cat Vale and Francisco, who are standing nearby and are observing the whole thing. Of course, Nils also listened to all of this, and he returns with you. So you guys stand, not far from the stage. You see that Conrad has a fat stock of pages, of sheets, and he looks rather unsure.
I say, well, gentlemen, I have the script. It's a pity I can't read.
Nils is like, fortunately I can. I'm going to read it to you all today. Conrad, I've heard what Schumacher told you about the weapons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that puts a slight wrinkle into it. So
Perhaps I should stay in the crowd.
So
you're not going to listen to it, are you? Just take your weapons.
Well, I am playing a.
Roll for intelligence, everyone, +10.
Can I smuggle in weapons since I am playing a guard or whatever?
Yeah, I'm not saying bring all your weapons unbared, but just intelligence.
Yeah, +10.
Nope.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow. All right, Cat Vale. You know that during the play, with the child in the audience, there will be guards, and if the guards see anyone with weapons in a restricted area, so to speak, they will act.
No blades, no bows. Leave your weapons here.
Yeah, just so you know. Those people treat Cal's security very seriously. Cat Vale, you know that you are you are in the not in the inner circle, but in Carl's compound.
We could have a beggar bring weapons in with a bunch of sticks, camouflaged.
Well,
I don't know. Sorry, Cat Vale, I don't know if you tell them that.
Yeah, I do. I would it be possible to explain that I'm working security as well or something, or
unless you speak with Helmut and explain, then it would probably be hard. I mean, you could probably have weapons in the audience as long as they are not, too overt, like a Zweihander or a spear. But behind the stage, if Schumacher says no weapons, it means that they will probably check.
I was thinking more like find like an elevated spot or something, like with the bow.
There is no elevator spot here. The nearest elevated spot.
the stage itself.
No, are the walls and the stage itself, of course. That said, you also need to get to the elevated spot without being seen, essentially. So that's also tricky.
I feel pretty confident. I'm a pretty good brawler, so I think being able to fight empty-handed while not ideal is something that I'm not afraid. I can do.
Could we
just be aware that
weapons?
What? Sorry.
What's that?
Sorry, Brian.
Could we plant weapons somewhere?
You could try, sure. That said, it would take some rolls from you.
And it would also have to be not weapons that are identifiably ours in case they get found.
Like this really fancy sword that we.
Or this elven bow. Yeah, I'd probably just try and find a regular bow to bring or something. Who else uses an elven bow around here?
Well, I mean, it's possibly doable, but I don't know how you guys would want to approach this. You know, how would you want to do this?
Well, so we're looking at it. It just appears to be an open area because it's. I'm just trying to think of if I were going to put security where I would put it and look at it that way and see, you know, is the solution one of us has all our weapons and then we throw them to each other, or you know.
Maybe we should like survey the area. Maybe we could find a, you know, like figure out where we would be if we were gonna try to assassinate somebody or.
And then my only other question, would be I guess no weapons means no weapons, because I was just like, you know, doesn't everybody carry a dagger, sort of like carrying a pocket knife?
Dagger is probably something else. Although you're also not completely sure if you would not be frisked, you know?
Right.
There are a lot of buts here. Like a lot of ifs. And you guess that if you would start asking questions about, you know, oh, okay, I can take a sword, but can I take a knife? You know, that would honestly raise some questions.
Yeah. So here's. Well, I have to be up on stage at some point, so.
Yeah, you might just have to be unarmed. I think we need to, like, if it's going to be an assassin, it's probably going to be like a needle pin prick, or, you know, it's poison. So how do you apply poison?
Yeah.
It could be the smallest of daggers. It doesn't even.
And it's also gonna, like, the assassination is not gonna be on the stage. It's gonna be wherever Carl's sitting. So that's the other issue.
So I think we will probably have to be more observant of that than you.
Well, so here's my thinking on it right now. As how about, Francisco, why don't you see if you can get a job with the stage hands, so you can be backstage, and then Cadwell and Niels will be in the audience. How's that sound?
I think we ought to be. Cadwell, we want to make sure we have, if we have to run after somebody or something, I want to make sure that we have access to our gear. So I think one of us has to be in a position where is holding enough equipment to keep us protected.
Okay.
Or like to transfer weapons off.
Maybe this might be a way to enlist the help of Ahmed.
Here, kid. Here, kid. Hold all our weapons.
Here, sneak these weapons.
Drive this van.
Okay.
So where is the in the camp? Where is the stage?
Right in front of Carl's compound.
Okay.
Like, yeah. Right in front of it. Just let me quickly see one thing. Maybe I can show it to you.
And all these wagons on the other side. Nils' tent's, what, like 5-10 minutes away or something?
Yeah.
Well,
No, Nils' tent is like 15 minutes from this place. At least.
So we could. So yeah, we can't have long weapons in the crowd, but we can have, like, you know, a sidearm, essentially, a regular hand weapon, sheath type of thing, kind of like common.
Okay, I'm going to upload the stage for you guys so you can see. The legend has been like removed.
Okay, good.
So please don't. Yeah, sorry. This time I have to.
I did hear that right, where we can have common weapons, but not like large battlefield weapons in the crowd, right?
Yes, common weapons. Yes.
Okay. So that will cover. I think maybe me and Cadvale will be in the crowd. Hopefully within sight around. Well, I imagine the child will be in some kind of cover. Do you think you can keep? Would a bow be permissible in the crowd?
No. You guess that also a Hochland long rifle would probably be frowned upon.
We still have another tent. Maybe we could set up a temporary campsite closer to the stage.
You can see the map. Actually, you know what? I am going to remove the Wolfenberg map because the one on the right, because it's not needed, and I am going to. Okay. For a split second, I was afraid that the legend wasn't removed. It's in the handouts. It's called Exit Stage Left, but I am uploading it on Roll20 now.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, and you can see the map. I've uploaded it.
Can you make it a little bit bigger? Or I guess I can make it bigger. Just
Here. How's that?
Yeah.
It's better.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I feel like well, I still think that somebody should be backstage to
Well, you will be backstage probably most of the show.
oh, that's true.
Now, Cadvale, if you wanted to just, have your sidearms and then maybe my sword and a sword for Cadvale, just in case we have to run after somebody, we can do that. If it's an assassin, I'm just trying to think how they would do it and then how we would counter it. Like, I doubt they'd be.
Well, yeah, my suspicion is that that during the big fight scene somehow they would have jumped down off the stage or something and tried to poison Carl somehow that way.
Is there a band instruments?
No, there are instruments here. That said, you are not behind the stage right now. Remember, guys.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, there are instruments. There will be music here, of course.
Just trying to think of.
It's always the hurdy-gurdy player.
It's the flute player turns into a blowpipe.
No, it's the violin guy. He has a Thompson in there. Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Jubal Falk.
That would be funny, actually. Falk is like, Darius!
Darius! You just see this one-eyed guy coming around in plate armor and pistols, yelling for Darius.
Yeah, the Jubal.
Like I said, food seems to go further than
money. Yes.
Money here. So maybe if I can get lucky and find a deer or something, we could bring it in a cart. They wouldn't question why I have a bow with me because I just shot a deer, and that would be like we're just giving food to the masses to celebrate.
Cadvale, that in that case it wouldn't work. This is a play. This is an organized event for a holy child. If you would show up with a deer, first of all, they would probably raise an eyebrow. Why are you actually bringing deer here? And even so, they would still not allow you with longbows behind. They would probably just take the deer from you, and they would thank you, and that's it. Yeah. Because, like I said, the people in the inner circle, they are not wary of car security. They are obsessed with it. They are just paranoid. That's why that any sort of deviation from from the security during the play will be met in force. Will be met with force, lethal force.
Did you say that our infatuation with
Carl is worn off.
Carl's has like
it's slowly
worn
wearing
off
off.
slightly?
You are still
Can-
sympathetic to the child, but
Can-
you are not blindly loving him anymore.
Can we sense that that this could be artificial,
Well,
magical influence or something?
I don't know. It's about what you want to feel, Jason. That's the thing with Carl's aura. It doesn't it doesn't change your point of your world view. It just adjusts it.
Yeah, because I think Francisco passed it once.
Yeah.
And the second time
He failed. Yeah.
he failed. So I'm wondering if we can just recognize that there's something magical, and if Francisco can kind of bring that to light.
In all honesty, right now, since you you had this this emotional high with Carl, and you're not having it anymore, I guess that Francisco would sooner think that something is wrong with his conviction. At least right now.
Okay.
You would probably, after like 2 or 3 similar situations, you would think that, hey, yeah, this is strange, like this is not normal. But right now, honestly, you would, given like the realities of the old world and how people fought in this time, stuff like that, you would probably think that your faith is not strong enough. And by the way, you guys were not speaking to each other like, hey, I don't like Carl as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heretic.
Yeah, and that would probably, invite some very unsavory thoughts from the others. Because remember, you are still loyal to him. You're just not blindly loyal to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's. Nils is like looking at you. He says, "Look, I can take like a sword under my cloak for you to the stage, and maybe a couple of daggers. But other than that, I don't really see how you would want to do that unless Cat Veil, you would wish to infiltrate the stage and hop on the upper walkway in the night. But you would have to stay there for the entire tomorrow and stay there quietly.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, but what are you going to eat? What are you going to drink? And when are you going to relieve yourself?
I shit in this plastic bag.
I shit in this bag that has these shiny things in it.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's a good idea. You can just take a purse or a sack and drop a deuce inside, right? I mean.
Yeah, I imagine Wood Elf would be disciplined enough to where they'll just like
the play is going on and a turd just falls on the stage.
Whoops.
Bombs away.
Culturally, the elf doesn't think there's anything wrong with that. It's like, what? Poop comes out of the sky every so often in the deep wood.
Well,
I could go before dawn when it's darkest.
Just make sure you have an out, because if anything happens and you sling an arrow, they're not going to think the assassin was the one trying to be the assassin. They're gonna go after you.
I'll only fire if there's an absolute reason to fire.
And make sure you have a way out, a path, or something that gets you. And use, and if you could disguise yourself before making a shot, do what you can, because you will look like the assassin if you ever have to draw your bow. At least for the immediate future, till things get worked out.
Yeah.
I think, and then I can stay in the crowd with Niels. Niels can carry an extra weapon, and we'll tell you exactly where we're at. So if you need to jump off the stage and come to us, you can.
Okay. Yeah, just if you've got room to hide an extra dagger somewhere, I'll make it work.
Yeah, I think that would be fine. Niels, do you even carry a weapon?
I think I've given you my dagger, and I have my staff. If that's what you're asking, I guess I can.
Well,
I can take my staff to the stage. I mean, I am using it to move.
I think it would look. I don't think it would look out of place if you carried a sword on your hip along with the staff. So, do you have a sword?
No,
for
no,
Niels?
no. I don't.
I'm talking to Conrad. Do you have a sword that Niels can?
Oh, I thought you wanted him to hold your sword so that you can be armed when the time comes.
Well, if I'm going to be in the crowd because Cadvale is going on the roof, I could just be armed.
But that's just it. I don't think you can be.
We're permitted side weapons. Sidearms. We're just not battlefield weapons like bows and spears and great swords.
Okay.
Am I correct?
Yes. By the way,
Yeah,
what does tantalizing mean?
Something
Alluring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
something that.
Attractive.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Okay. Grazie.
Yeah. That actually, if he can hold a sword and a dagger for me, that would be super. I'll give him my hand
Yes,
hand weapon.
I can do that, friend Conrad. Says Niels.
All right.
So just backup plan in case everything goes to hell and I get chased out of the camp. I'll meet you guys at the pavilion tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Which pavilion?
The one we burnt down.
Oh,
Over
okay.
there, see that smoke? That's
By the way, Cadve, you know that if you get caught up there with your weapons, there is no explaining that.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like I'll have to leave the camp if something happens.
Yeah.
So like
They-
I just wanted a plan for them to meet with me again.
They will probably
And make-
just execute you without any trial, any questions. Not only they would find you there. You're also an elf.
yeah. Don't make it. Maybe set a couple traps on your pathway out, your egress route. Give yourself
Yeah,
every
I'll have
edge
to plan.
possible.
I'll have to plan all that out when I go to the stage.
Shoot, I meant to ask you to set traps up at the pavilion.
What is a word that one of you will yell out if help is needed?
What would be
Line.
a word?
Something very out of place in the crowd.
Lie. Out of place, but not out of place. Like a phrase that we can say that you would recognize that wouldn't be completely out of place in context of a theater or a show.
I was gonna say my doom.
Perhaps there's a phrase in a stallion or something.
Yes, I'll say, Signor, speak louder for us in the back.
Quesadilla.
Tequila.
Taco
Por fa-
margarita.
Por favor.
El Taco.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have options, right?
Yes.
Uno, dos, tres.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
and then
Don Diego de la Vega. he was Zorro, if if you guys don't know. Whatever. Yeah.
I do
So,
not think that means what you think it means.
Means yes. I do not think this means what it think. I do not think this word means what what do you think it means? Yeah, it's something like that from Princess Bride. Yeah.
Yep.
What a fantastic movie it is! Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
So would that work?
Yes.
I guess so. Says Nils.
Farewell.
Yeah. So, I don't think we have anything better to do today, says Nils, other than you guys learning the play, which I'm going to read to you.
And one thing, Conrad, if you see something and you don't want to reveal your position, just start coughing and sneezing on stage.
Yep.
That way, that will, it will attract attention, which might be a good thing, because
Right.
whoever's about to do something will probably be ignoring the coughing on the stage, whereas everybody else will probably be drawn to your attention.
Yeah, especially since, all manner of sicknesses and plagues are present in the Crusade of the Child, and all around you people are wheezing, coughing, sneezing, hacking, stuff like that. So that wouldn't probably...
Assassin!
Yeah! So that probably wouldn't draw attention.
Assassin! A red Great rocket!
Yeah. Yes. So, are you guys coming back to newsstand?
Yeah, Conrad needs to study.
Okay. You return to newsstand, once again being watched.
Man, this is gonna be hilarious.
Yeah.
You're gonna say your lines out of cue and everything.
That's
There's
why
gonna be awkward silences.
That's why my code word is line.
And now something completely different. A couple of words of wisdom from Detlef Sierk, noted playwright. Never work with halflings or animals. The standard
Aren't they the same thing?
The standard of the Golden Sigmar Awards for excellence in writing and performing have really gone downhill in recent years. They now celebrate nothing more than a bunch of talentless hacks that spend the guild's money on cheap wine and an afternoon of backslapping. Next year I'm going to instigate the Golden Snotling Awards for performances that really sting the place up. Money? You think there's money to be made in acting? My dear fellow, if I had a gold crown for every time I heard that, I'd have 2 summer mansions instead of just 1. And these were words of wisdom from Detlef Sierk, noted playwright. That's yeah. That's a kind of a meta thing. They've included that in the book, so I just wanted to read them to you.
It's a neat little lore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those little snippets that they add in the books.
Yeah. There will be a couple more in this chapter, so don't worry. Okay, anyway, you return to the tent. You grab something to eat from... because I remember that you've managed to secure some provisions earlier, right?
Yeah.
I think that Cadveo was hunting, and you guys were also foraging for food, if I recall correctly, something like that.
Yeah, and if there was any food at the pavilion, we would have taken that and probably would have just eaten there.
Okay, so let's say that you've...
While we watch the pyre of bodies burn.
A hot dog roast.
Yeah.
Having a ham sandwich and...
Yeah, okay, so let's say for simplicity's sake that you've grabbed a couple of rations from the Heralds Pavilion. There weren't that many, honestly, but they should last you for 2-3 days alone.
That's probably decent food too.
Wine bottles filled with blood.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah,
Whoa.
yeah, sorry, I'm going. This is the better quality map that I found a couple years ago when I was doing my OCD Warhammer search for the collection. Okay, Okay.
Oh my gosh, it's facing in the opposite direction.
Yeah. So you have like now 2 maps. Like I don't know which one do you guys prefer, the one on the left or the one on the right, or do you want both of them?
They're fine.
Yeah,
Oh.
they're both fine.
Okay. So you.
I think for your purposes, if you were running this again, I would skip the one with the writing on it and just go straight for this one. But,
Yeah. I had a couple
But,
of those for the previous chapters, and
Yeah.
I think I even used some of them. They were made by some French guy. So anyway, if the French guy is like watching this, thank you, French guy, for these handouts. They are really cool. Yeah. So salute, mon chéri, Notre Dame, whatever. Anyway, yeah, these are the only French words that I know. So anyway, you are learning the play, which means that those of you who want to do so will need to make me a test. Since you are not academics, you are not learned wise men, this will be at a -10 intelligence.
Francisco is sleeping in his new sheets.
Okay, so only Conrad learns the
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Francisco is sleeping. Conrad, you are learning. You have.
I'll listen. I'm gonna have to leave in a little bit to go scope out the stage. I think, right?
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just listen for like a familiarity of the pacing of the play, I guess.
Okay. So in that case, Sean, you have 2 rows for
Okay.
intelligence. 2 intelligence rolls max, each on -10. Passed
Okay.
just 1, and you're good. Roll.
Zoinks. Of course not.
The first one, unfortunately not, and the second one.
Bum, bum, bum. Yes! Man, I'm on fire today.
Yeah.
You forgot 3 though. Maybe 3 will come later.
Yeah, that's what. Just a second.
I think my son is playing Resident Evil 7. I can hear him cursing downstairs.
Good game, by the way.
Yeah, he that was like the first thing he was like, when we were talking about the PS4, he's like, can we get the PS4 so I can play Resident Evil 7? Sure.
Sorry, was eating corn with butter and salt. Like the real corn, not popcorn.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Love
Corn
it.
on the cob.
Yeah, actually, yeah, corn on the cup. Love it.
Yeah, that's a big summertime thing here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nikita Khrushchev had a saying that if you would take, I mean, as USSR, if USSR would take corn from you Americans, then we would win the Cold War.
Yeah.
He was actually the one who introduced corn to the USSR.
I live in corn country here in the States.
Okay. I love
That's it. That's our state. Corn.
I love corn in almost every like form. Seriously. And from what I
Yes.
understood, there's even like alcohol from corn, right?
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons
This moonshine.
we plant so
That's
much
huge.
corn in the U.S. is because we use it. In Arizona for sure, we use ethanol made from corn in the gas mixture, but also all of the high fructose corn syrup we use in just about every single product you can think of. So
Okay. I'm going to eat the second cob later. Just yes, that sounded badly. Sorry. Just a very quick, interesting info. I don't know if you guys, if in the US, making of moonshine is illegal, because in here, it actually is. Like.
Yeah.
Well-
It's technically illegal here.
well, yeah, you have to apply for permit. I mean, actually that was a thing because it used to be that it was illegal, but with the explosion of craft brewing and now craft distilling,
Yeah.
and even back like when I was in college, when I was doing the brewing science stuff, I there were some guys who were in the fermentation science degree, and did some of the brewing classes, and they one guy was like, "Oh yeah, I built a still in my backyard." And I was like, "That sounds dangerous." But,
Yeah, you need like a liquor license to sell it, but otherwise you can for just personal use.
Well, I think
is there more to it?
You're not supposed to, but you can get away with it very easily.
Right.
You know
That's the thing. Is technologically, it's honestly not that difficult to make a still, and I think there was
nobody gets busted for it anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Like a cop will probably be like, "Can I try?" Like they
I
probably
know
won't
a
care.
cop that makes it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, no,
it's-
but that's just it though. Is I think with the home brewing and then craft brewing and microbrewing industries, then people started doing so like Tito's vodka, right?
Mhm.
Like he started doing it in small batches, and then he made a business out of it, and then they started opening up like I think like restaurants with distilleries attached and things like that. Same as with the brewing. So it's a lot of because of different states have different laws. It's essentially getting it on the books in your state, and I think most states now you can distill stuff, and it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, there's in Poland you can, for example, make homemade liquor, stuff like that. But if you are like making it, using all this equipment, it's illegal. But interesting fact, my friend is like we don't have them, but he's an equivalent of your forest ranger.
Mm-hmm.
That said, he's mainly like measuring distances between trees, making sure that that the bisons are behaving, stuff like that. But they do, of course, because he lives in the east side of Poland with his family, and they have a lot of forest there. And there's in the eastern Poland, there's the biggest moonshine production, and of course it's illegal. And of course, he knows all the moonshiners there.
Yeah.
He's friends with them. And how this works is that once a year, the police or the law, they need to make a raid because they have to, they have to show that they are doing something. Yeah. So
Right.
they are saying that like in 1 week from now, we are going to raid you guys. So all of the moonshiners choose one of them to get raided. The guy gets raided. And the others later, of course, they confiscate all of his stuff, issue him a fine, stuff like that. And all of the guys, of course, pay the fine for him. I mean, they
chip in.
yeah, they chip in and
Yeah.
they buy him new stuff. And
They come in and it's a gigantic warehouse, and there's only like one small table with a couple jars. It's like, oh no, everything I own!
yeah,
Don't confiscate it!
and, and the best
It's like
thing,
one guy sitting in a chair sipping on one bottle. He's like, no!
and the best thing is that that the moonshine, for example, where my friend lives, the biggest buyer of the moonshine is the local priest.
Awesome.
Yeah. And when they have parties, like birthday parties, for the older forest ranger guys, of course, the moonshiners bring a lot of good stuff, and they all drink. So I don't know if it's the same in your country, but in here it looks like
It's
that.
illegal, but it's not very profitable. Like it's not as profitable as drugs, and so they typically enforce the stuff where they can do huge cash seizures because that goes right into, the DEA, into the sheriff department's budget. They just soak up all that money that they seize.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Yeah. I think things like weed, because like my mom took a trip up to Northern California and was going around and like, oh yeah, we just drove down this road, and these people were like, you really shouldn't drive down these roads because people will shoot you because they think you're trying to come and find their
that
grow
Murder
patch.
Mountain out there.
Yeah.
Really?
I forget where it was, but yeah, I mean, since they legalize it, I think it's less of a problem. But there's essentially been a lot of people growing marijuana out in the forests, out in the national forests, out in California in particular, and and they don't like it when you stumble upon their stuff.
Yeah, there's a docu-series on Netflix called Murder Mountain about that. It's pretty good. There's like 10 episodes. It's crazy the shit that happens.
They really kill people for that?
Yeah, it's called Murder Mountain.
Jesus. Yeah. Well.
But anyway.
Anyway.
So Conrad is able to learn his lines.
Yes,
Yay.
you've actually learned. Now, you rode very well. That said, of course, you are still like a pretty simple man with, Nils just told you your lines. So that means that you probably still need to, you still need to make rolls anyway, but because you've rolled so well, they will be much easier. Just so you know. Because you've rolled really well. That said, even if you would, like, for example, play a performer or an actor, you would still have to roll, just so you know, Sean. So you know,
okay.
I'm not swindling you. Francisco,
I just think, especially because I can't read, it's funny.
Yeah, well, you spend the rest of the day just until you went to sleep. You spent with Nils just sitting in front of you with the pages and just repeating that stuff. So it was really taxing and frustrating to an extent, because one more time, Conrad, come on, and you were like, well, it's the 5th time. Yeah. Meanwhile, Francisco was sleeping, and Cat Vale. When did you decide to leave for the stage?
I want to get up there just before dawn when it's really dark, but I probably want to go earlier to scope out an escape route, like into the city.
Okay.
Like, not actually go into the city, but just find a way where I could sneak out in a hurry if I had to.
Okay, so that's what you are doing for the rest of the day. Francisco, you're doing anything else?
Well, depending on how much time there was, if I had any waking hours, I'd just kind of eavesdrop in on the conversation on Conrad's lessons.
Yeah,
But
you
otherwise, I'm not really traveling or doing anything like that.
You've managed to listen to a couple of lines, but that said, you were pretty tired and your arm is still busted. So unfortunately, that's like you've tried to rest whenever you could, right?
Yeah, like my health is my priority right now, so.
Yeah.
Is there time to get a few hours of sleep so I'm not like falling off the stage tomorrow?
Yeah, sure. You've got a few hours of sleep before leaving for the to scoop the stage.
Yeah, I'll get up at like 4 or something.
What was that roll, Sean? Because it's a box.
I apparently, sorry, I was moving my cursor around and apparently I hit something. Sorry.
Okay. So anyway, eventually at some point you guys, you've ate your dinner, and with the amount of food and the quality of Heralds rations, it's really not that bad. You even have a few bottles of alcohol there, of wine. You went to sleep, and now, Francisco, negligent discharge. Okay. Nice. Francisco, I would like you to roll me 2 toughness tests, one after another.
All right.
Do you want to use luck?
Yeah, I'm gonna use a luck.
First luck goes. Nice.
Okay.
Second toughness test. Nice.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
All right. Down the luck.
Yeah, I'm going to use. Okay, second one. That. Whew. Okay, so just. Okay. Sorry, I need to just type a couple of things. And this and this. Okay. Sorry. Right. Cadveo left before dawn. Cadveo, you make your way to the stage, towards the stage. You know, at this time, the Crusaders are already starting to get up and to do their daily chores. They also prepare for the play that will take place tonight, or this evening, actually. You are you are moving in between them. You know, you are like a ghost. You eventually approach the stage and you see that it's practically completed. It's ready to it's ready to be put to use. What do you want to do?
Are there still carpenters and stuff working on it?
Mm-hmm.
That might be a good way to, or a good disguise to take to get up there.
Well, okay. It's up to you.
Before I actually go up there, because I'm not going to come back down until after the play.
Yeah. Oh, I presume you took some food and water with you, of course.
Yeah, I'm going to eat and drink light, though, so I'm not going to the bathroom.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm going to go do that before I go up on the stage.
Okay.
And so while I'm doing that, I want to kind of scope out a quick way out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Like something to jump down to. Like if I have to leave in a hurry.
Unfortunately, the only place to jump to is the stage itself.
Oh God.
Or you can use the drapes, like in Assassin's Creed. You can jump with your sword. You know,
like swing from a rope.
Yeah, puncture the drapes and just slide down. You know, like
Sweet.
slicing the drapes. Yeah, like Prince of Persia or Assassin's Creed.
Or Peter Pan.
Yeah, or Peter Pan.
Rush Hour, didn't they like slide down some big banners?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
something like that.
Somebody caught somebody falling with it.
I think in American Assassin was a similar scene. Yeah. Anyway.
Just like out of character, real quick. Is this feasible? Like, if I get caught, could I take the form of a stagehand and then stab myself in the shoulder with one of my arrows or something?
Like you want to use the power of the cloak, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's unless no one will spot you.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, if I get spotted, I can quickly, like, take the form of a stagehand and make it look like I'm just a stagehand.
A stagehand is trying to assassinate Carl.
Well,
I fought him off, but he got away. Like,
Well, there's a chance for that, but you're not sure if it will work. That said, that's a pretty good plan. You know that. That's a pretty good plan, yeah. But it will require a bit of luck.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, sure, it's absolutely doable. Yeah. So you are trying also to to find an exit towards the ruins, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a clear shot out of the camp, I guess.
Yeah, sure. By the way, when you guys woke up, I'm saying Cadveo, Francisco, you feel really bad. You are sweating profusely, and Conrad, you can see that he is sick. You can also see that it's clear that Nils is also sick. His skin is clammy, he's coughing, he's shivering. Unfortunately, he caught something. So yeah. Oh, reminds me, Conrad, also make me, and Cadveo, you also make me toughness tests, guys. Ooh. All right.
I'll use a luck if that's a fail.
Yeah, sure. Nice.
Okay.
Excellent. Awesome. Catvale, you reach the outskirts of the crusade. You know, you see before you the sinister ruins of Wolfenburg being slowly illuminated by the rising sun. Just a few days ago you were traveling through these ruins and you remember the horrors which you found inside. Okay. Roll me perception.
I'm gonna use a luck.
Okay.
I have one left after this.
Oh, even better.
Catvale, suddenly you feel a kiss of steel on your neck. And you hear in Elfarin, not a whimper, cousin. Not even a sound.
I slowly put my hands out to my side so they see I'm not gonna reach for anything.
Yeah, they take your weapons from you, by the way. Shadows, just like you, dressed in long green cloaks, stained with mud and grime, so they can better move among the Kaimon masses. The leaf blade of the dagger, is just pressed tightly to your jugular. You know that is a very small motion is all it takes to end your life. You can smell the sweet aroma of of your captor's breath. Not unpleasant.
He's standing behind me.
Yeah, and two of them disarmed you. You see that they are. You see that they wear boiled leather jacks underneath their forest green cloaks. They have fine swords and daggers in sheaths hanging from their belts, and quivers of arrows slung on their backs. When you've been disarmed, two of them grabbed you by your arms. You are far away from the crusade that probably no one would care what's happening to you besides, people in the crusade, when they see something like that, they just turn their eyes away. They don't want any trouble. Two of them grabbed your arms and turned you around to the person who put a dagger to your throat. You see that he's also one of your kind, an elf. He's practically armed the same way as the rest of them. That said, his green cloak is held fast by a silver clasp hanging, and the cloak hangs from his shoulders. You can see a small pouch on his waist. You recognize the style of the pouch. It holds an antitoxin kit. These are the elves from Laurelon Forest. You're sure?
Are they Ghost Riders? Because they're equipped very similar to me. Okay.
You see that the elf who looks at you. The elf who looks at you can see that he has a slightly manic stare. Even though he's calm, there's something wrong with his eyes. I am Lorinok. These are my Kivbent warriors. You are?
Cadvile.
Cadvile.
I nod to the other warriors. I'm actually glad to be in their presence right now.
Well, you nod to them. That said, they are holding you,
Yeah.
under each arm, and you've spotted and you saw that they have their daggers unsheathed and pointed towards your ribs, one from each side. They don't nod back. What are you doing among this filth, cousin? Among these animals? Are you a traitor to our kind? Are you a traitor to Are you a traitor to Isha?
I am not.
You are not.
It is because Isha that I'm here.
We've been observing you for some time. From a long time, in fact. We know that you've been in cahoots with those members, with those humans who formed the so-called Inner Council. Are you under the sway of the abomination they call Sigmar Reborn?
I shake my head, but I've seen it.
Roll for willpower, and then roll for fellowship. All right, you want to smash him in the face, Lorinok.
Okay.
For saying something like that about Carl. Now roll fellowship. And just let me quickly see. You are lying, he says. He rolled better, by the way, just so you know. I can see it in your eyes when I've mentioned that this child is a monster, because he is. He's a creature of chaos. I could see the anger in your eyes. You are under its influence. And you are a very bad...
You know something that I don't.
And you are a very bad liar, cousin. Perhaps if you would not stick with humans for so long, you would be better at Loex trade. We should kill him, Captain, says one of the elves. He's under its control.
I narrow my eyes.
He is indeed. That said, he could be useful. Do you still serve the forest? Or do you serve this thing that wears the skin of a little human boy?
I serve the forest.
Very well. In that case, you will be of use to us. You will help us assassinate the child. Because that's what we are here for. Oh, actually, sorry, he didn't call Lorin a captain, he called him, in Elven tongue, the equivalent of a lieutenant. Just so you know. I don't know what the Elven is for lieutenant, I'm not that big of a nerd, but I can
But you do know it in Klingon.
Yeah, I can later find. My captain, right when we first met this disgusting mob of degenerate animals. Well, actually, sorry, he didn't say animals. His odor of degenerate filth. He ordered me to shadow it and to try and kill this Sigmar Reborn when I'll get a chance. He is too dangerous to allow him to live. In wrong hands, he could bring the end of the world. Because he may be a sweet, innocent little human boy, but there are people there, evil people, who would wish to exploit him. And besides, he's a mutant. I am surprised and saddened, cousin, that you didn't spot this fact earlier. Perhaps you are not as faithful to Isha as you would like to think. Or perhaps you never were.
My intentions were pure.
Your intentions were meaningless. Only your actions matter.
It seems as though you aren't the only ones that wish to assassinate the child.
What are you saying? Speak clearly or I'll have my men kill you right now. You are a traitor to Ariel in my eyes, but you can still redeem yourself.
I narrow my eyes when he says that, and then I gesture with my head to the direction where the pavilion is, and I say, "We fought some members of is it the Herald of the New Dawn? Is that it?"
Yeah, Heralds of the New Dawn.
Yeah, and uncovered a plot in which the child's going to be killed at this play.
Very well, cousin. Now we are going to take you to a certain place, and we are going to make you spill everything you know about this play that's coming today, about the defenses, about this other group, and then you help us kill this monster. And if you don't, well, but don't worry. I have a way to make you cooperate with us. That said, it won't be very pleasant to you.
How do you know that the child is not just a pawn of the Dar? That's a wood elf word for like ruinous powers.
Yeah. We've spotted him first a couple of days before Aldorf. We've rescued a bunch of Kaimon from the attack of the Beastkin in the forest. They were following this crusade. I don't remember the name of the small human town that they've set camp in front of, but there was this child, and we saw with our own eyes, me and my captain and my men here, we saw how this boy converted the entire town with just a simple glance and a simple word. It was at that moment that we realized that this is probably the bigger threat than even the hordes of the north, that perhaps even the accursed Saladil, which is one of the most powerful beastmen and the archenemy of the Wood Elves everywhere. Bran.
That's why I've stayed close to the crusade.
Do not explain yourself. I don't buy it. It's clear to me that you've been under its thrall. Anyway, we've tried to kill it, but right then and there, but a bunch of undead intervened.
Hey, can I take a break for a second? Someone's having a connection, and I need to deal with it.
Yeah, sure.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry.
So unfortunately we failed, but now a new opportunity arises. And you will help us, Cat Vale of Lorelon. You are from Lorelon, right? Bran?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'll check my character sheet.
You will help us, or I will personally cut out your heart and sacrifice it to the bloody-handed god. Your entire line will be dishonored.
Wait, that's heresy, right? Like out of character?
The Wood Elves don't really worship Cain. He's sort of a taboo, and you see that when he said that, the elves that are holding you, you can feel that they are uncomfortable with what they've heard, but they're still loyal to their commander. You can see that Lorinok is not playing with a full set of cards, if you know what I mean.
I'm gonna lock eyes with him when he says that.
Like romantically?
Yeah.
I wonder how will your kin in the forest react to that, when they will learn that one of there was a pawn of humans, and a mutated one at that. You'll be an outcast. You'll have to live in the slums of the cities of men. But you can redeem yourself. You will help us. Or perhaps you do not wish to. And you see that he, brandishes the dagger in front of you.
You're a servant of Cain?
I am a servant of my queen. And of all the Pantheon. Don't be daft. When we are killing beastmen in the forests, to whom we were really directing our prayers, not to Kornos or Isha. But I am I am who I am, and I am still loyal. Unlike some of us here. And he looks at you with this really nasty smirk on his face. But like I've said, you can redeem yourself, cousin. I am giving you the opportunity to do so. Alright, man. Take him to our camp. We'll try and break through his brainwashing. And if it will be unsuccessful, then well... we'll manage somehow.
Hey guys, I'm back. Yeah,
All
sorry. I'm. Yeah, my wife is still out of town. I'm by myself here, so
Sure.
something I couldn't avoid.
We'll manage somehow.
Yeah.
Yes. And once again, they said the equivalent of a lieutenant in the Elven language. And they're taking you. With them. Along the way, another 2 Kivband warriors joined the small group, and they are walking you in such a way that it would be extremely hard for you to break free. You are going around the encampment to the north, to the forest to the east. Meanwhile, you guys, you wake up. Francisco and Conrad.
That's gonna be interesting because they're gonna think I'm on top of the stage.
Yeah. Well, what are you guys doing?
I think we'll be following. Well, Conrad, you probably have to be somewhere at a certain time. Trying to think if there's anything we could do. Do we want to go around and just kind of search behind the stage, and, like back, just walk around the backstage area?
Yeah, well,
Maybe
I mean,
see
yeah.
if
Yeah, well, that was my intent, was to go back there and kind of snoop around while I'm getting fitted for my costume, blah blah blah, that bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you practice your lines.
Yes.
I want you to be extremely animated up on stage. I want you to make us look good as a team.
Okay.
This is very important. It's a good way to get our name out there.
Yeah, I'm a method actor.
Oh my god.
You'll be like
Mention our podcast.
you'll be that one extra that just super overacts and just tries to steal the show with your 2 lines.
Tobias Funke. Oh, that's what my name should be. God damn it. That's my next character, Tobias Funke.
And and what are you? And who's going to be Tobias Funke? An actor?
No, well, no, I don't know. I'm just saying that. Sorry, we've been watching Arrested Development. So.
Okay.
It's David Cross's character. He's funny.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. So I don't know if you guys will get kicked out, but I figure we'll have something to eat and then head over there, and I'll just do my best to snoop around and see if I can see anything suspicious while I'm there.
Do you guys, by the way, do you guys want to will you guys want to play any of the role of King Ironbird or the Orc Warlord? Because I didn't cut that before,
Wait, one more time.
Yeah. Well, we have those costumes. The
yeah,
2 characters, Ironbeard and whatever the orc is. So I mean, but because you guys wanted to be out in the audience with weapons, I don't know how you'd be able to do that.
It sounds like the play's going to be a couple people short.
Well, we thought that maybe they were. Well, who knows? Maybe.
But those 2 people should be in cahoots with the assassin, most likely.
Yeah.
Do you think you should bring the the costumes and try to say that there was an incident, and I'm here to bring you your costumes and try to get to know them. Know what I mean? Because I think whoever was supposed to play those roles, and we may have killed them, but if we didn't kill them, and you find one or two of them backstage, we know at least they're involved.
Yeah. I suppose it couldn't hurt for me to carry the. I just thought that we had thwarted that aspect of it, but that there were other assassins out there. But it didn't occur to me that maybe that these are the actual costumes that were stolen.
Well,
I
guess that's the first thing we can find out if we go backstage.
Yeah. So you want to bring the costumes with us?
Yeah, might as well in case it comes up.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Like, we'll keep them kind of wrapped up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you start asking around.
Yeah. Let's head to the stage and.
Yeah. I'll go with him. I guess we're not allowed to have weapons backstage at any point.
No.
Or is it just during the? Okay. So I'll leave my stuff back at.
My guess, says News, is that these heralds, they would probably at some point try to kill the actors actually playing King Kurgan and the Orc Warlord, and then take their place. I don't know, I guess that if they would steal the costumes before, Schumacher would see that, would spot that.
Right.
So, so if you will don those costumes, you have to be careful. You know.
Oh, I don't think we'll be wearing them.
All right.
Yeah, my intention was never to wear it, but
Correct. mine too.
All right, very well. I mean, you know, if the situation demands, you know, different approach, then I hope that you will be flexible, right?
So yeah. So here's an idea. If you find the actors who are supposed to play them, try to hint to see if they are their replacements or if they're the actual actors. If they're the actual actors...
There's also one more thing, friends, says Nils, and he looks very worried. We do want to smuggle weapons behind the stage. I'm pretty sure that the Heralds will do so as well. You will have to be prepared for a possibility that there will be armed assassins behind the stage, not just armed with poison, with needles or, you know, blowpipes or stuff like that. I don't know, I'm just saying that there is a possibility.
Well, I thought that's why you were holding weapons.
Well, yes, but
that's for during the play.
That's for during the play. I won't be with those weapons behind the stage, friend Conrad.
Well, I guess being caught with weapons behind the stage prior to the event is less of a crime than actually during it.
Okay, well, I'm confused because I don't know, because Niels was supposed to be holding my weapons for me, so...
Yeah, well, okay, so I guess there's a couple things going on. We are going to do as much as we can before the play, as far as keeping an eye on, or seeing who should have those costumes, if they've been replaced or not. If they're replaced, maybe you can kind of play the role as a villain when talking with them and delivering the costumes. Or if they haven't been replaced, you could deliver the costumes and just kind of watch them. But then, when it gets close to the play, I would then leave and then watch from... I think that was kind of the intent.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how I'm supposed to be able to ascertain whether or not, hey, are you guys the assassins?
No, just be like, I have your, they're missing their costumes, so that's the first thing. If you show up with the costumes and be like, hey, I have your costumes, they will either be like, okay, thanks, as if, if they're the assassins, they would see it as normal. If they're not the assassins, they'd probably be very surprised as to why their costumes are in your possession. So I think you can kind of play the reaction to them.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I was I don't. Yeah. All right. Okay.
I don't know. Like
it doesn't make sense to me, but all right. Just because I don't. So if I go up to the people who
I could play that role because if I'm going to go back anyway, I'll have the costumes.
Okay.
Then I'll see what I can do with it.
I think because you guys didn't come with me at all, or I guess Niels came with me. Well, whichever. Yeah. Well, let's just go. I just want to go and root around behind the stage and see if I can see anything. So, and
all right.
Tell them I'm there for my part.
Well, Niels is suggesting we
Have
go
weapons
in
right
weapons. Yeah.
Now? Okay.
So we'll have to try sneaking those in. So we'll have the costumes with us, and then we will.
Well, it sounds like we're just holding our weapons now, then, and we'll have to meet up to have him take our weapons from us later. All right.
Yeah. When I leave, I'll take your weapon with me.
Okay, that's fine. That works.
How would we get him in?
Well, it sounds like he's saying that because it's not performance time, we can just walk around with our weapons back there right now.
Is that the case?
What do you mean exactly?
Well, I mean, yeah, I honestly, I'm not understanding this whole situation of weapons or no weapons or whatever. It's like, are we going to be able to walk around behind the stage right now with weapons?
No, you can't at any point enter behind the stage with any weapons.
Okay.
You can enter the audience with short weapons like swords, I don't know, hand weapons generally, right?
Right.
You could probably, and you guess that you guess you could probably pretty easily smuggle, for example, dagger behind the stage. That said,
right.
If at any point someone would caught you with a weapon behind the stage, would probably be just thrown out, or maybe even arrested if for example, if the Crusades security would be, there, and they will probably patrol the premises. Maybe not all the time, but they will, make sure that everything is fine, right?
Right.
So Nils is supposed to have your weapons, and he's supposed to be in the audience. So he won't be with you in the backstage. Right. So he has your weapons. I know how many of your weapons. I know he has, I believe, Francisco's sword and 2 daggers, stuff like that.
Well, I thought it was because, it depends on what Francisco is doing. But I thought it was that he was going to hold my sword and dagger.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because Francisco...
And originally the plan was that he and Francisco were going to be together, and Francisco was going to be there with his own weapons.
Yeah. So he would have your weapons, sure. So if you would go to the stage and something would come up, then Nils is able to, for example, throw your weapon, or just hand it to you, stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and so then the wrinkle has come into it. That, maybe you need weapons before. Conrad's plan was that he would just, he would bare knuckle brawl people and try to get weapons after he beat them into submission.
Yeah,
if necessary. But that's not the best plan. But that's something that he's not totally uncomfortable with.
I mean, it's better than nothing, right? Plus, Cadvale is supposed to be in the rafters, supporting you with his bow. And his
I got you covered, guys.
and his little pea bottle right next to him, like a real sniper.
Yeah.
The
bag full of shit. And
yeah,
a bottle full of piss.
Exactly. Exactly that. So I think that's what you've agreed on, and yeah. But if you want to make any like changes, then please let me know. Like I said, Nils told you that the Heralds, since they are all unscrupulous assassins, will probably try and smuggle weapons of their own to the backstage, and perhaps, and now you are thinking about it, since you saw more costumes there, so you guess that they will masquerade as actors. Perhaps they will even try and have real weapons on stage. They don't have to kill Carl with a poison dart or needle. Carl will almost certainly sat in the front row, because the front row is always the best. It's reserved for the most important people in the audience. So at some point, perhaps one of the heralds, or maybe all of the heralds, if they would wish to kill the child, they would just suddenly draw their weapons and jump from the stage and hack him to pieces, which is of course horrible prospect for you. Even though after this night you once again notice that you're not like too in love with this kid. You like him a lot and you are loyal to him, but it's like your faith is lacking. You don't know why. Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell anybody because I don't want to.
Also remember that you didn't spoke to each other about this, so it's individual in your case. Plus, like I've said, Nils and Francisco look sick, very sick. So that's that. It's very early, and the play will start at the early evening.
Okay.
All right. So I guess we need to. What do you want to do?
I think I should go to the backstage area and snoop around there, and you guys can come with me and hang out, or you can wait until you think later, and I will use my hands registered as deadly weapons, or I will find a weapon and pick up a stick and beat somebody to death with it if I have to.
Sorry, and also remember, Sean, you have to be 30 minutes before start of the play. Not 15, but 30.
Yeah, 30.
And the play itself is is divided into 9 acts. Just so you know. Act 1, the birth of Sigmar. Act 2, Sigmar and Black Tusk the Boar. Act 3, the battle of Astophen Bridge. Act 4, King Ironbird. Act 5, battle of Blackfire Pass. Act 6, Sigmar battles Nagash. And there's also Act 7, Sigmar, establishes the Empire. Act 8, the joyous reign of Sigmar. Act 9, of course, is all about the abdication of the Emperor. And leaving to the east. Yeah. So that's that.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, you're all not like critics. You're all not theater critics. But when you and Nils were reading and learning the play yesterday, you came to conclusion, and you, Francisco, you also noticed that, and Cadveo, you were also there, so you also heard what they were reading. You are an elf, and they are human, so of course their art will be inferior anyway. But honestly, this act is this play is fucking horrible. This is just bad. This is this is Uwe Boll levels of bad.
Well, this is our opportunity to make it good.
Yeah. Just so you know, that's the that Schumacher is a talentless hack, essentially. This yeah.
Good to know.
Of course, this play is all written, and it will be performed for the glory of the child. So that makes it immediately much better. But like the source material, I mean the core of the play is garbage.
All right.
All right.
I mean, Wilhelm like took actors from within the Crusaders. I mean, he offered you, for example, a role, Conrad, and you are just a soldier, right? You are a muscle man, so to speak. So that says a lot.
The Fabio of the Crusade.
The Fabios. With the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, I am assuming that I'm allowed to wear my full armor.
No, actually.
No.
No armor, no weapons.
Why not no armor?
Because
I can't kill people with armor.
That's what the costumes are for.
I'm a method actor. I told you.
He's not in costume yet.
Well,
or maybe just make it look like it is your costume. Just try arguing it. Be like, I wanted to add a sense of realism to the role.
It reminds me of a Soviet director who wanted such a realistic, performance from his actors, and
you would just shoot people.
Well, no, but he used live ammunition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yes.
And he was making, a war movie, so the machine guns were all firing live ammo. He had to.
Well, they had a lot lying around after the war,
Yeah. Like he had to write a couple of forms that he takes full responsibility for any deaths, stuff like that. And I don't think that anybody got even wounded, but yeah, the actors were just fired at, with live rounds.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So, of course, you can take your armor, and you can, perhaps no one will even spot that this is real armor. Yeah, that's the thing. But just so you know, officially, no real armor, no real weapons.
I will wear my armor and hope for the best.
That said, you still have a lot of time before the play starts, because it's very early, and the play starts, at the early evening. So you guys decide what you want to do. Cadveil, you've been taken deep into the forest to the east, where in between the trees there's a small encampment, so well disguised, so well concealed, that you know that no human would ever be able to find it. By the way, this is interesting. In my games, the elves are assholes even to other elves.
I see that.
The elves took you there. They've made you sit hard. One of them just kicked you in the back of the leg. They've tied your hands behind your back. They've tied your legs as well. You see that Lorinok, they've all pulled down their hoods. It's also very clear to you that these elves have been on the road for a long time. They are dirty. Their hair is greasy. The Kivband warriors look tired, and honestly, they look like they want to they want to go home. But Lorinok has this manic energy about him. He has this, look of someone on a quest, and it's clear to you that he will stop at nothing to claim his prize. So, yeah. Very well, cousin. The play starts. The play will take place today. I will need your help, but I can't really trust you, can I?
It goes both ways.
I don't care if you trust me or not. You are at my mercy right now. I could end your life now, and it wouldn't really matter. To me and to my men, you are a traitor to our kind right now. You are no better than that slaving scum from the west. At least they are honest about who they are. You are pawn of humans. I never saw anything like that. I never saw one of us, one of the Asrai, who'd be serving Kaimon. How could you stoop to such low levels?
Man, he's just digging in on you.
Yeah, I'm like looking like around, like I'm ignoring him, like to piss him off.
Yeah. But fortunately, I will allow you to redeem yourself. Or die trying. How's that concoction brewing? Few minutes and it will be ready, Lieutenant, says one of the elves, who is in a very small kettle, brewing something which smells very strong.
Doesn't smell like the black liquid I smelled, does it?
No. This is a certain concoction, cousin. It's not often used by our kind. Actually, only from what I know, only the less than honorable Azrai from the certain parts of Afel Loren use it. It clears one's mind, if you know what I mean, and also makes him very susceptible to certain suggestions. You will drink it, and at least for some time you will hopefully be free from this mutant abomination's influence. I will of course check it before, I'll let you off your leash. If the concoction will fail, what?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I just I have no idea what just happened. I totally lost audio. It's like I got completely kicked out of Skype.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
When did you get kicked out?
I got kicked out just a second ago. When he started talking about that they're cooking up some concoction.
Yeah. That's pretty much where we were.
Yeah.
If the concoction will work, you will help us do what's right, and you will restore your honor. You'll be able to return to the forest as one of its children, and not as a mongrel hound. You'll be able to thank me later. And with that, you see that he just sits and props himself on a tree, props his back on a tree. His men, 3 of his men are watching the perimeter. The other are eating, talking quietly, observing you. They are all observing you, by the way, very, very closely. And you see that 2 of them have their bows ready with arrows. You know that if you try anything, they will just shoot you. Lorinok just looks at you with this, stare of it's a mix of contempt, amusement, and you guess sadism.
What prompted you on this mission?
I've told you before. We were actually, me and my kith, we were ambushed by the beastmen in the forest. We were returning from performing a ritual to cleanse a waystone. On the way back to the forest, we were assaulted by the beastmen. Only I survived. I've hidden in an abandoned, what the humans call it, coaching inn, where a group of came on and a halfling found me. That very same night, after more humans arrived, he said that with a clear distaste in his voice, the beastmen attacked the inn. Most of the humans, well, actually there were also some mutants with whom the humans allied themselves. There's no law to which they wouldn't stoop. Humans are the worst scourge of this planet, upon this land. So yeah, that's what he said. Well, and anyway, beastmen killed most of the defenders of the inn. I've managed to escape into the forest, using their deaths as distraction. Fortunately, more of my kinsmen arrived when they've learned about what happened to my original party. They've killed many of the beasts and helped those came on who survived the attack to escape to safety. As it turns out, they were tracking the so-called Crusade of the Child, and he said these words with, clear distaste. Like I've said before, we saw what the child was able to do. And that's when my captain, Coriel, decided to kill it, to prevent its evil from spreading. Unfortunately, we failed to do so before the village of Guten, I believe it was called. After that, we've shadowed the crusade. Oh, and sorry, my bad. It was actually Lorinok was from Athol Loren, and he traveled to Loreron to clear to perform the ritual. So he also thinks better. He also thinks himself better than you, Brian, because elves from Athol Loren are generally, they are superior to those from Loreron. They have the king and queen there, and they're more important, right? So just so you know. Anyway. That's the whole story. When the crusade set camp here, and after leaving Aldorf, we were waiting for the child to show himself. We were actually thinking that perhaps he died along the way and that the crusade's leaders are just creating a facade for their followers. After all, that's what humans usually do. Lie to each other. But then the child returned. Showed itself. But we guess that whoever kidnapped it in Aldorf, this kid was able to either escape from him, which is unlikely, or some other humans saved him. And so we've decided to do what's right here. Right now. And when we've learned about the play and that this monster will attend it, well, our job will be much easier. And with your help, willing or not, much easier. You can see that when he's speaking that, the other elves look at him, look at you, and you can see that they feel very uncomfortable.
I'm gonna watch the other elves for a few minutes.
Like I said, they are watching you. They are, doing the watches, stuff like that. But
does it seem like he's like ordering, or he's like commanding them with fear, or like they're afraid of him?
No, they're just loyal.
Okay. Why not take a few of your kith band, drink this concoction, and kidnap the child, and then you can get all the answers you want. And if you're right, you could just end the child's life there.
I don't have to get any answers from the child. I saw this monster with my own eyes as well. My captain did, and the other elves here did as well. Fortunately, we were much stronger in wool than you, and so we've managed to withstood its vile influence. Something you elves from Loreron could learn. Not being weak. So anyway, the plan is set. We will kill the child today. Is the concoction ready? Yes, Lieutenant, says the elf. Great. Well, cousin, ready to drink?
I put my hand out.
You don't put your hand out because your hands are tied behind your back.
Oh, well, I would have just drank it. I mean,
Yeah.
what choice do I have?
Right. Give him the brew. If you try to do anything funny, you see that Lorinok just pulled the dagger. Alright, you guys, meanwhile. Conrad and Francisco. You guys, what are you doing for the rest of the day?
Go ahead.
Well, here's my suggestion, but I was thinking we see what we can find out backstage before the show, and then once the show gets closer to start, then I would leave you there alone. The only question is, should we bring weapons and that type of stuff? So that's sounds like we are encouraged to try to sneak weapons in there. Or do you have another idea entirely?
I will also have my staff. I can throw it to you if the things go awry, says Nils.
Right. My feeling is right now is that I don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize me being able to be up on stage when I need to be. So I was just going to wear my armor and have Niels carry my dagger and sword, and I guess I'll leave my shield back at Niels's tent. And actually, if I had a shield, I was like, or I could do Francisco move and take my shield and kill people with that.
Yeah.
But I feel like the shield might be pushing it too far, as far as bringing attention to the fact that I'm wearing armor. If I also had an actual shield. But my intention is just to get backstage and snoop around backstage as much as possible, to get ready for the play, and then just be up on there on stage and go out and bum rush anybody who's seems to be trying to jump down and do something to Carl.
To the boy.
That's the boy Carl.
Yeah.
Not Carl number 2 or
Yeah.
So that's my plan. So I mean, I don't know if going now is way too early and we can wait till closer in, or but my plan is just to go there and be there until the play starts. So whenever that happens.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, if we don't have much else to do, I think we ought to, we just might as well wait there versus here, unless there's something else you want to do.
I feel like going there is the safer plan of action as far as being able to witness anything funky going on.
Okay. I will have my sword with me, and let's see. Actually, I'll probably... No, I won't, because there's no real easy way for me to conceal it. Like, I might have a dagger on me that I can play ignorant about if we get stopped, but...
Yeah, well, I mean, dagger, if you would conceal it very well, you would probably be able to slip in.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. And then I was thinking we could carry the extra costumes too, wrapped up.
Yeah.
So I can have a dagger in there, or just have it on in my belt or something, or my shoe.
Okay.
So probably in my shoe. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So shall we?
Yep.
Or do you want to add anything to that? All right.
No.
So you guys are making your way towards the stage, right?
Yeah, towards
backstage.
specifically towards where it says backstage area, because I figure that's where we'll find people. But yeah, over there, and eventually to get up on stage. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Of course, News is with you. It's at this point that you are giving him your weapons, that he, hides them under his cloak.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll give him my sword as well, since I'm only going in with a dagger.
Okay. So he has 2 swords and what? A single dagger from Conrad, right?
Yes.
Okay, and his staff. You can see that it is quite heavy, and he looks rather weak because of the sickness, but he trudges on. You are making your way through the Crusade of the Child, and the people here are ecstatic about the play. They say that this will be the greatest performance in the whole old world, in the history of the entire old world. That it will shadow even the place of the great Detlef Sierck, the noted playwright. And that Schumacher created a masterpiece. Of course, you can hear rumors that some of them already read the script, and that there's a dragon involved, and that there will be a real griffin on the stage that that Helmut keeps in a cage somewhere in the compound. That a dozen knights will parade in front of the child. That the real actor, one of the best actors in the old world, came specifically from Altdorf to play Sigmar himself. Your usual nonsense, right? And people are only talking about that. And even though that this place is horrible, filled with disease, misery, pain, and death, at least for a couple of hours, people seem to forget about these things and to, concentrate on something positive, to actually, find something good in this very negative, very horrible situation that they are in. And perhaps that's not a bad thing at all, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Cadvale, you've been given a smolden cup with something smelling very strongly and rather unpleasant. Lorinok told you before that this concoction used by certain elves from his home forest of Afel Loren. You've heard when you were in Lorelorn that supposedly there are Kivbens who are so wild and so primal that they sometimes attack even the others of their kind, and that they harbor strange traditions and practice strange rituals in their parts of the forest, which are always overgrown and filled with many dangers. And you shudder to think what's inside the cup. That said, you drink it. Gul, 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 gul. You swallow? Or spit it out?
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight it.
Okay. For a few seconds, nothing is happening. It's this tasted like a strange herbal concoction mixed with perhaps, you don't know, tasted like blood, honey, something else. It wasn't good. And then you can feel your mind essentially blanking itself. You you can feel your thoughts just disappearing, and you only focus on what's right here, right now. You can feel your ego, just abandoning you, and your motivations, your wishes, just gone. You are very calm, and this is painless. But I would lie if I'd say that this is a pleasant feeling. You are essentially becoming a clay that will be molded by the hands of this strange Azrai, who's acting more like, like not even an elf, honestly. He's so brutal and so full of spite. Alright, Cadvale, roll me -10 willpower. Nice. That means you don't get insanity point. Unfortunately, Brian, that means that you are now, you will be rolling, but you are now essentially mind controlled.
Okay.
Like Lorinok, you see, you look at him. He looks at you. He has this pleasurable smirk on his face. Do you hear me, cousin?
Do I have to answer?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Very well. Are you loyal to the child?
No.
You're not. Yeah. You say no. He he narrowed his eyes. Will you kill the child in cold blood, without any hesitation, without any remorse?
I have to say yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Will you do the same thing to your so-called comrades, if the situation will require it?
I have to say yes.
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 Very well, he says. You see that Lorinok is pleased. Cut his ropes. We can always use another bow. We'll infiltrate. We'll infiltrate the stage when the sun will set, when the sun will go down, and we'll make our way to the top level. When the time comes, we'll put, I think, dozen arrows into this creature's heart. That should do it. Yes, Lieutenant. Said the other elves. You, Cadvale, you are with me. You stick close to me. Understood?
Yes.
He approached you and he just slapped you a couple of times on the cheek, not slap like whoop, but that's good. That's good elf. Of course, he's not saying that, but yeah.
Can you let me know when I have the opportunity to make a willpower check again?
Yeah.
Okay.
No worries. All right. And with that, the elves put on their cloaks. You can see Cadvale that they are putting large amounts of mud and ash from the fireplace. Grime. They put a lot of grime on them. They hide their bows and their quivers full of arrows under the cloaks, so as not to draw attention, because it's clear that they have elven weapons. Their weapons are very slim and very beautifully made. They also do the same with your weapons and and armor. You have these antlers on your shoulders, right?
Yeah.
So they take them off. They leave them here in the camp. They're not asking you. They're just they are treating you like an automaton.
Can I get some more arrows too?
Yeah. They give you 10 more arrows total. They give them to you from your quiver. Actually, Lorinok even told them to do so because he says that it's better for for all of us to have enough arrows to kill this child.
And like all these other elves, they seem like they're just loyal. They're not under this kind of mind control.
No.
Okay.
They're just they're. But I mean, before you've drank the potion, you understood they are following orders. Of course, before the mind control, like the potion, before you've drank the potion, you like got why they are doing that, but at the same time, you thought that they are doing the wrong thing because, like I said to you, you are still loyal to Carl. So so just so you know, Brian, you are treating these elves as your enemies. Like you've treated them before the concoction as your enemies. They want to kill the child, and the child is still important figure, very important figure to you, and you are still its protector. Just so you know, and that the same goes to you, Conrad and Francisco.
Yeah.
After you've prepared yourselves, after the elves prepared themselves, now they're just looking. They can even pass as crusaders, dirty crusaders with in long cloaks. They set out and mingle with with humans. Conrad and Francisco, you are approaching the backstage, and we are ending the game today.
All right.
Probably the finale of this chapter will be on the next session. And then chapter 7. And if everything will go well, hopefully Andy will join us during the 7th chapter. I hope that he will. Anyway, we haven't done this for a while, so let's and from now on let's return to the normal points, at the end, not just 100, because that's boring, and we don't do boring here. We do interesting stuff. For today's game, it was very cool. I will give everyone 65 points. For your characters, Brian, Cat Vale, 10 points, excellent. Francisco, 10 points, excellent. Conrad, 10 points, excellent. Place of birth, Cat Vale.
I can't think of anything I said that wasn't kind of fed to me anyway. You know what I mean?
Okay. So nothing really. I don't think so. You didn't say anything. Yeah, shame. Honestly, I mean, I know that.
We talked about it, but it wasn't me that brought it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I know that really the only info about Loreron is from the fan-made expansion. But I mean, next time hopefully you'll have some opportunities. Okay, let's go with Francisco. You've mentioned something about Estalia and assassins. I remember that.
Yeah, I was looking for a weapon, and so let them know that it was look for a small crossbow or. Yeah.
I can give you 5 points for that because like I said, you mentioned some assassins in Estalia. That was pretty cool. And finally, we have Conrad. Conrad, which province are you from? Because I honestly don't remember. Sorry.
I'm from Ostland.
You're from Ostland, okay. Yeah. So you've read the chapter from Sigmar's Heirs about Ostland?
Of course not.
Oh, that's bad. that's
yeah.
That's okay.
So I will put it on my reading list. But yeah, I don't.
It's not long. It's not long.
To birthplace.
Okay, just a couple of quick things for your next game. Ostland has been completely devastated during the war. It's practically it's not existing anymore. Ostlanders are very stubborn. They're not dour like Wissenlanders. They're stubborn. That said, they're also dour. But there's I think there's even the saying, the Ostland soldier song, something like that. They love to tell very sad, very tragic stories about their battles. But so that's a quick info for you. But more you'll be able to find in Sigmar's Heirs. Seriously, is the best source. I actually saw a couple of those things from Ostland today. in your play, so I will give you 5 points.
Okay.
Especially with the weapons, when you were talking about armor, weapons, stuff like that, you were like very stubborn when it came to them. So that was cool. Now religion, cut veil. I will give you 10 points for the for the cane, for the whole cane thing, and Aisha and stuff like that. That was very nice speech with Lorinok. Liked this a lot, Brian. Jason, what is your religion? Because I don't even remember which.
Shoot. It's the
Manon, right?
Manon. Manon. Okay, it's just the ocean. So, and I didn't really use anything today that refers to that.
Okay, yeah. So nothing here. Okay. What about you, Sean? You are worshipping?
Sigmar / Carl.
Okay. Sure.
So I'm trying to think if I did anything particularly.
Honestly, nothing today. I
Yeah.
think, and shame because you also had opportunities. Like you have a lot of opportunities when since you are living with a Sigmar Friar.
Yeah.
I even told you that when you've entered the tent, you see that Nils is praying on the altar, at the altar.
Yeah. I think part of it was I was thinking that. But I think it's more player knowledge than character knowledge about how he didn't seem so sure about Carl.
Yeah.
So
Well,
so
I mean,
that's
he even not agreed, but he even said that. I mean, to the Otto and Francisco when you've rejoined the
Yeah.
crusade,
yeah.
that the child has not the same effect on him as it has on the others.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he's agreeing on that, yes, but
Right.
he's still
So-
loyal to him and he still wants his safety, and you all know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so I didn't use my opportunities to do anything about that today. I'll keep that more in mind next time.
Okay. Star sign, Brian.
Courageous, strong, doomed.
10.
Okay.
10. It's excellent today. You are courageous, you are strong, and you are doomed right now. So yeah, very very cool. Jason, your star sign.
The broken cart, pride, arrogant, prideful.
You were saying something, stuff like, go with your armor and try to convince them, fight for it, stuff like that. I think
Yeah.
it was in the spirit of this, So I think I only saw it once, unless you convince me otherwise.
I made some snarky comments. It's kind of like arrogance to Cadvale when he was like killing an unarmed man. So he's a bit of a smartass.
Okay, arrogant. Okay, cool. In that case, 10 points for you. Sure. Sean,
Okay.
star sign.
2 bullocks, fertile and skilled.
10 points. 10 points because you've learned the play, and you had
Okay.
those very nice rolls. When it comes to the various things, which means that yes, your character is indeed very skilled.
I'll work on the fertility part next time.
Yeah. With news. Yeah. No, just kidding. Doom, Brian.
Absence makes the heart grow weaker.
Okay.
I mean, I was relieved when I first saw that they were a Sry, but then he started talking about Cain, and I.
Okay, absence miss. Okay. Well, I can give you 5 points for that. I think that would be fair. I think. Jason.
The twin-tailed comet shall, and I don't have the rest of it written down.
Dot, dot, dot.
Well, actually it says something. Dot. But it's number 38. I need to
Wait, I'll open the book.
Yeah, what
So-
what book is it in? Because I
It's
always
Tome of Salvation.
Tome of-
There are like there's 100 dooms there.
yeah, it's number 38.
I'm going to open it right now. Okay. God bless these high quality PDFs, and if anyone will like said that I'm pirating stuff, I have the physical copy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you can actually buy the PDFs, but
Yeah.
speaking of Twin Tail comments, we have a visible comment now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it's-
we had it
It's
like
twin-tailed.
Oh, is it really?
Well, there's an ion tail and then a dust tail, so it looks like it's two-tailed.
no.
Oh, that's
The twin-tailed comet doth soar as thou dost fall.
Oh, that was my old one.
Dust, yeah.
So
Seems fitting for
Tail-
this adventure.
The twin-tailed comet shall
soar
soar.
as you will fall. This is pretty tricky. For example, it would be cool if you would I don't know, if you would like
Well, not this session, but last session.
yeah.
As I was falling, it's kind of the opposite. But as I was defeating the people with my shield, I was,
Well, yeah, but I mean that was
falling
that
apart as this.
that was last session. Unfortunately, I can't
Yeah.
give you points for that.
Yeah.
I don't think that anything
don't think
was
I have
today.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a real Doom. So, for example, it would work very cool if you would, like, I know, save Carl and lose a fate point yourself, right? That would, for example, be a good roleplay for this Doom. Like if you would sacrifice yourself for the twin-tailed comet, essentially.
Yeah.
But that's of course just one of the options. Okay, Catveo, you gain 5 points for playing a very cool elf. I like it. I like him a lot. Any ideas that push the adventure forward? The weapons. The weapons, Noose's weapons. And I will give Catveo 5 points for wanting to go to the stage and then to check the the exit, because
Yeah.
you've you've run into the elves, and that's like that's a completely new story branch. Yeah, so I will give you 5 points, and I will give you guys, Jason and Sean, 5 points for the idea with smuggling weapons there.
Okay.
I think it's only fair. Yeah. So that's that. And if next time, remind me, next time if the option, like if the whole, smuggling weapon thing will actually be used, then I will give you more points for that. Okay?
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So that's the points, and now is our favorite pastime, setting up the next game. Now the next game will be tricky because I don't think I'm in town on the 2nd of August. I believe I'm on holiday there.
I will be on holiday the weekend after that. So let me just double check, make sure I have the right date. So I leave on a
You're going
trip.
on holiday. You're in the United States.
What?
Can't go anywhere.
Oh, you could. Well, I have vacation. Yeah, you could
Yeah.
travel within states.
Yeah.
Will you travel?
So, yeah.
Okay.
It'll be that's the weekend of like the 7th and 8th. Won't work for me.
7th and 8th.
Well, the 9th technically is
Okay.
this Sunday.
I'm thinking in that case. Sean, what about you? So
I don't have any restrictions that I'm aware of.
okay, so in that case, what about like the middle of the week, guys?
Yeah,
I am thinking about 30th of July, or I don't know, 29th, 28th, stuff like that.
29th might work for me.
That's a Saturday, right?
Yes.
Of July? 29th of July?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
29th,
Sorry, Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday.
29th of July. Sorry, I was looking at 29th of August.
It's Wednesday.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I could if you want to.
If that's if that's in the middle of the week, we can, for example, play like I don't know, a bit we can make the game a bit shorter,
Yeah.
right? But I think that's the best option that we have right now, because if not, then the next game will be on the 16th. And
Yeah.
that's I would like to avoid that if possible, of course. So what do you guys say about the 29th of July?
I think it works.
Yeah. I mean, right now we don't have school or anything, so and even when school does start back up, I have no idea what they're going to do with me, since they're going to be doing online school.
Okay.
Till at least Labor Day. So that means that unless they're giving me like busy work to do. But anyway, yeah, 29th is.
Okay, is the normal hour alright? So our current game time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
it's 6:30 p.m. where I am right now.
Right.
So if that's okay with you guys, we can do the standard game on 29th. Maybe like a half an hour earlier would finish it, but other than that.
Yeah, that should work
fine
for
for
me.
me.
Okay, Brian, you cool?
Yeah, that works for me.
Awesome. So I'll see you guys on 29th standard time. Sean, if you get a chance, read about Ostland.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've wrote me the story of your character, right?
Yes, I put it. It's on his bio on the.
Okay.
On the.
I will read it, but add a single fate point to your character sheet, and I should also give you, I believe, a magical item. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do that, so I will also create one. Brian, about the character that you've sent me on Messenger, without even pretending I didn't read him completely, because I will do so, but the whole Arabic thing is still some time away from now.
Oh yeah. I just started writing. I thought that was a cool idea, like a Bruce Wayne type.
Yeah,
character,
I mean
so
the cool the idea about him being essentially Batman is very cool. But a lot can change in the times before we actually start playing in Arabic. So I will read him as well, probably before the next game, so I can tell you all my thoughts on him.
All right, yeah.
But just
That
so
was
you know,
basically
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw what I saw the overall, the general idea, and I liked him a lot. Like the Black Dove, right? Is that the name?
Yeah, the Black Dove.
Yeah, it's awesome. So anyway, guys,
Not the black pigeon.
the black
Yeah.
pigeon from outdoors. Oh, the famous aerial battle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, I'll see you on 29th. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right,
Alrighty.
later.